One.
And we're live.
All right. Hello, everybody. Zero here with the Tabletop Dungeoneers, and I am accompanied today by Hate from Save or Die and Quinian from Quinian's Budget Craft. What's up, fellas?
What's going on?
What's up? What's up? That's Zero from Zero's Hobbies, by the way. You forgot that part.
I know I said it. You'll
Zero
rewind
from
it.
Zero's Hobbies.
You'll hear it. I said it.
So we're supposed to have a guest on later on today. It's my buddy from the Sith Dynasty. He's got a prop store on Etsy, and yeah, he should be on in an hour. So let's hope. John's a busy dude, bro. I know he is. So let's hope though. But I spoke to him today and everything. Like I sent him the link. He already has the link. He's ready. Well, on my end, I should say. You're not wearing your Jedi robe, Zero.
Yeah, I know. Listen. First of all, you're not wrong, but I just got back from a doctor's visit that took like way longer. You know how they call you and they say, "Oh yeah, it's going to be a real quick test. 5 minutes, you're in, you're out, boom, bang." No, fucking test took like an hour and some time. You know what I'm saying? And
It's always like that, though.
yeah, dude, it's like ridiculous. Well, not necessarily. Like we go to certain places and it's 1, 2, 3. This specific place, it's like, you gotta wait forever.
You know what I hate? For some reason, when you go to the doctor or something like an appointment, and you're in that waiting room, and then it's like a false sense of achievement when they call you to the back. Cause it's like all they do is they call you to the back. It's another fucking wait.
Yeah, it's like
and you feel like okay, it's my turn. It's not. Have a seat and wait, man.
What I hate is when the nurse runs you through this maze for like half an hour, checks your blood pressure. It's like, yo, your blood pressure's high. No shit, lady, I just ran a half mile.
it's like the military, man. Hurry up and wait. you know.
Yeah, oh god, that's all that is waiting, man. Especially boot camp, dude. Jesus Christ.
You know what
Jesus
though?
Christ.
If I could do it, I swear to God, I would do it. If
What?
they'd let me go right now, I would go.
If I military?
Yeah, I would do it in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. It's in my blood.
Hold on, I heard something. Hold on. I'll be right back.
Uh-oh. So,
All right, he's gone. It's our show now.
hate that guy's face. I will start with some of the news, I guess. The Tabletop Dungeoneers weekly news. One of our members, Game Urban, he's with Game On. They just dropped a couple videos this week. One of which was an announcement video, basically telling everybody that they're going to cut back to like 1, maybe 2 videos a week, but the second will probably be a live stream if possible. Just because of the season, and he works with he's a trainer, like physical trainer, so he's got that stuff coming up, and I'm sure he's going to be really busy. They also dropped a video this past week on what do you call it? Oh, Jesus. It was NPCs, like how to run and, like what to do with NPCs and how to, create memorable NPCs and, long lasting NPCs in the campaign. And they actually had his partner on with him too. So it's actually a pretty cool show. They weren't live, they were just filming, and they were actually filming from outside, which was really, really different for them. So that was pretty cool.
I haven't seen that yet. I'll have to go check it after this.
Yeah, it's kind of nice because they give you a nice insight as to, especially if you're DMing, and you're like having a hard time keeping NPCs relevant and stuff like that. They kind of go over some quick tips and tricks as to how to do that, and how to, either you're making them, evil NPC, you're giving them personality so that they stick around and the players remember them when they go back to town and stuff. Because it's like, I know when I was running my games, like there were maybe a handful of people in a huge town or village that were memorable, and I usually try to make those people characterful so that the players go, oh yeah, that's that one bartender, even if it is just a bartender or a barmaid or whatever, it lingered, with the players, which is, it's important. It helps continuity and consistency in your game, especially if you're homebrewing, so what else do we have? Miller's Marvelous Miniatures is he actually he dropped a video this week where he created a roller to make grids on foam board or on foam core. So it's like a huge contraption. It's got like wheels and washers and spacers, and he basically pushes the foam through it, and he can actually create the dungeon grid on a large sheet of foam, which is really, really cool. We had talked about it last week. I think I was talking when we were on last week's stream. We were talking about how somebody needed to 3D print one of those rollers, and he just went and made one. So
Yeah.
it was
Yeah, that's the thing too. 3D printed, you can get away with like 4 inches at most. His will do the whole sheet in one go.
Yeah, dude, I was highly impressed. Way to go, Mel. That was some pretty cool shit. And also he had another video, but this was a live stream. He actually did his first full-on live stream where he was painting a miniature and just chit-chatting with everybody. So kind of like a paint and chat, which is kind of cool. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to do live videos and stream and do all that stuff too. So good on you, Miller, and hopefully we can keep that going and keep that momentum going, and we can all jump in when we can. And maybe if he's willing, he can even have guests on with him to do the same thing, paint and chat. I'm definitely down for that. I find it.
That's what Miller wanted, actually.
Yeah, I find it more therapeutic, and I also find it more productive when I'm painting and chatting with someone who's painting and chatting or building and chatting. You know what I'm saying? Like you just get more creative and productive.
No.
No. Hate says no.
Speaking of Miller, I actually need to work on that thing. Yeah, back there. It's laying sideways. It's that gold thing. I actually got the idea from him on live stream. So saying I had a dream or something, I painted something gold and then put green wash over it. And I did that to see what happened. He gave me the idea to make it look like a lost in the swamp kind of statue.
Yeah, like a limestone covered, like limey covered statue. I'm doing the same thing with some miniatures too. I actually have a bunch of them that I got that were a little bigger than standard miniatures. They're like 54 mil as opposed to 28. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to throw them gold. Actually, Canadian Retro just put out some pictures of the ones that he did with the chick and the undead guys. I have those same figures, but I painted them gold, and I'm going to do the same thing with the lime and stuff like that. I think it's a cool idea. But
Rivers said, hey, I don't know if y'all saw him, and so Rivers jumped in. Hi, Rivers. Well, then, hi, Rivers.
What's up, Rivers?
And Miller said, sure, man, sounds fun.
That'd be awesome. But yeah, if those who are watching, you get the chance, check out his channel, Miller's Marvelous Miniatures, and also check out Game On. Like I said, they're always putting out some really good content.
I'll tell you what, that chat about the NPCs and the main boss at the end and all that was pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
pretty good chat.
Yeah, I was just referencing that in the news here. So I'm gonna move on to.
So I get to say something, because I was gonna wait. It was good.
Oh, okay.
It was real good. I didn't know you brought it up because. Oh, it's by the way, my granddaughter's here. Yeah, she dropped her iPad on her foot. So it was trauma, but yeah, man. The whole thing about the boss like just jumping in and stuff, and NPCs, and instead of having your NPCs rooted in one place, having them actually have a life.
Yeah, exactly. Travel, move around, be more characterful, and the whole thing came from. I think he got the idea from the Strahd character, because Strahd does that. He's one of the only villains in all the D&D modules that actually confronts the players on different levels and can be almost anywhere in that campaign. Like he's not waiting for you at the end of the book. He'll literally be there greeting you when you come to Barovia and tell you, hey, I might kill you tomorrow. Just FYI.
No, man, that shit's
he sends you a letter.
Like Dracula, bro.
Say what?
That shit's a lot like Dracula.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The module is a lot like it. There's a lot of stuff that's missing. I mean, but they even said there's a Van Helsing character.
Yeah, there's a hunter in there. Mm-hmm.
It's a lot like it.
So okay, real quick, let me just blast through these hopefully, because I got a lot of look at I got all the news. I wrote it down, and then I got
okay, fancy.
Right, watch out. But I can't read my own writing. That's the worst part.
It's an analog too, pen and paper.
Listen, don't judge me. So, Thaco Factor. Rod, he dropped 2 videos this week on the cleric character class for 5-point or 5th edition. So if you get a chance, check that out. Critical actually dropped a video this week. It's a critical. He dropped a video on his open forge dungeon tiles, and he was literally dropping them on the floor to show the durability and stuff like that. It was pretty cool. Cool video. Check that out too if you're interested.
I told him he should make that his intro.
Dropping the tiles. He said, he actually said he is going to start working on an intro. I think he's going to start working on one for D&D After Dark as well.
That's open forge, Quinn.
Are they like this? These are open block.
That's Dragon Lock. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
got Open Forge.
That's 3D printed though, huh?
Yeah, very cool.
They're very durable too. I mean,
PLA is durable. Yeah. It just can't hold stress like ABS. That's only.
Stu says, "Hey lads, how's it?" He says greetings. What's up, Stu?
When Stu said, "Hey lads," I thought because I was looking at it, from far away, and I thought it said, "Hey ladies," and I was like, "Let's get into it, buddy. Let's do it."
So okay, Blue Dragon reviews. Okay, they just dropped a couple videos. The first one is Hellhounds. Yes, it's a really good video. Very informative. If you don't know anything about Hellhounds by now, you should, especially if you're into role playing or even, they talk about them in all kinds of media. But very cool video, very informative. They also did a video on. They're doing a series of videos on how to play D&D 3.5. And they're on the third video of the series right now, which again is very informative. Blue Dragon Review they just got some good quality lore and review videos. So
it's the best edition, 3.5.
Yeah, no, I haven't played 5 yet, so I'm not going to criticize. But I gotta say,
I don't know.
3.5 is my favorite thus far out of all the editions I've played, and I've played like everything since the first Red Box. So that's just me.
That's the only one I ever played. Well, I've played D&D back in the day when we just pretended. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody starts off there, I believe. And then, you know what I did do with my kids? If you ever seen, what's that Nerf channel where they play with Nerf guns all the time? It's a bunch of grown-ass men playing with Nerf guns.
There's a bunch of them. Pick one.
No, there's like a really popular one.
Oh, okay.
That they upload all day long. I can't remember the name. Anyway, they do this thing where they take the EVA foam tiles and they play D&D. And they have movement, and they have spells, and it's the Nerf guns, and they throw them at each other and all that.
That's actually in live action role playing, when they do fantasy live action role playing, they do the same thing. They use Nerf darts as spells and stuff like that.
But they don't use the EVA tiles, though. Huh?
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Yeah, well, it's like a chessboard. These dudes have like a whole complex. That's all they do is play with Nerf guns in there all day long.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I forgot their name. They're pretty big on YouTube. The dude's got a video too where he does like Amazon reviews and all. He buys shit off of Amazon and tells you if it's dope or something. Dope or Nope is the name of the show he does. Yeah, well, they do that too. But I've done that with my kids.
Really quick.
3.5 is the best, says Stu.
They also did a video on the Call of Cthulhu Keepers book for 6th edition. They did a review on the 6th edition book. They're in 7th edition right now for Call of Cthulhu, but they're really into the Call of Cthulhu mythos, so they've got the original books and stuff or some of the older books. So they just did a full review on the 6th edition Keeper book. Now the Keeper is what they call their dungeon master, their game master. That's the guy that's storytelling and moving everything along. So just for those who don't know, that's what they call it in Call of Cthulhu. It's Keeper. I also wanted to give a real quick shout out to Quin's wife's channel. My simple random life is what it's called. So if you get the chance, check out My Simple Random Life. It actually is her focused on just painting miniatures. So she's going through that process. This is pretty cool. She's got some pretty cool minis, and we're still waiting for the green dragon. If she hears this, we're still waiting for you.
The green dragon.
Yeah. We Roll Dice, which is Stu, is still working on his Warcry miniatures, and he is also in the process of painting an Armiger Knight from Warhammer 40K. So I'm definitely excited to see how he finishes up that knight. And he did do an unboxing of some Stormcast Eternals very beginning of the week, last week. So if you get a chance, check out We Roll Dice. Cujo, our buddy Cujo at the Overboard DM just dropped.
Nobody likes that dude, bro. Don't bring that dude up. He screams like a girl. Don't bring that dude up, bro.
You know what I gotta tell you, dude? I love those little things he drops in his videos, dude. Those are awesome. I gotta figure out how to do.
He had a bunch of gun cocks in the last one.
Yeah, the little screaming head and stuff. It's pretty cool. But he did just drop a couple videos, two videos actually so far on again continuing his series on the Dwarven Forge sets, and like each set and what their value is and what you can do with each set. So he just dropped number 4, encounter number 4 and encounter number 5. So if you get a chance, check that out, because obviously if you're even thinking about getting Dwarven Forge, take a look at these videos because he really, and I got to be honest, I know he loves it, but he's being really honest about it, and I like that. He's being straight up like, look, this is not a set to purchase. This is the set to purchase. If you're going to get into it, get this instead of that kind of thing. And I think that's cool. It's important. You know what I mean? Because, you know, when people don't know and they jump into something, they wind up looking back like, damn, I shouldn't have got that. I should have got this instead. You know what I'm saying? So he's kind of, I think that's a really good value to have.
Yeah, I think the thing about Dwarven Forge is, and I've said it before, it's its own hobby, bro. It's just buying shit because you like it, really. Because I mean, a lot of that shit, it doesn't even look like it goes together with everything. A lot of it doesn't look like it, and it doesn't look like it's very modular at all. It looks like they make a floor plan, they sculpt it. It looks like they make a floor plan, they sculpt it, and they cut it up into pieces. And yeah,
they do, but I got to give them credit because they make it so that all their tiles fit together. Now,
it doesn't look like that.
It does, but it doesn't. The thing that is right is that they've got so many additions, right? Like the first edition tiles don't work well with the newer ones per se because they're in different heights. They're made out of different material, and they don't lock together like Dragon Lock or anything like that. They just kind of butt up against each other. And he's even pointed it out, like they just started adding magnets to their sets. Now
they sit on a battle mat.
If magnets should have been in the very beginning, right? But they didn't know, right? Like I remember when they first dropped their first dungeon tile sets, and they were like ceramic. They were in a huge box. I mean, you paid like a couple $100 just for one set, and a lot of people weren't jumping on board. I mean, because
I remember when they first came out, and I was like, "Man, that shit's cool."
It is, but it was expensive.
It was like, I think it was like $500 a box.
It was, but it was a big. I remember it was like a huge dungeon.
Yeah, it was a big box, but it was like $500. I'm like, "Fuck, man, $500 for a toy, basically."
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sleeping. But I know. Real quick. So, okay, he's got those 2 videos, so check them out. Also, Die20, which is another member of the Discord. He just dropped a couple videos this week as well. One he did on the Anycubic printer unboxing. I guess a buddy of his picked up an Anycubic, so they were doing the unboxing on the channel. And he also did a Warhammer 40K 9th edition, kind of like a reaction.
That was an Anycubic Photon, just a regular.
I think it was the Photon.
Yeah, just a regular.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that.
It wasn't the S, right?
I don't. You know what? I don't recall if it was the S. I apologize. But I know it was like I said, they did the whole unboxing on the channel, so I wouldn't get it.
I'm sorry, Viejito. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I had a
okay.
old, what do you call it? Elder brain moment.
Elder brain.
But yeah, he also did, like I said, he did a 40K reactionary video is what I call it. So like he watches, he shows the video of them and their announcements, and then he kind of is based on his reactions and his opinions. He also did one on the 40K codexes and what that's going to mean for transitioning from 8th edition to 9th edition and things like that. So check him out. Again, it's Die20. And then Canadian Retro.
Die20, one word, by the way.
Yeah, it's one word. And our buddy Canadian Retro did a couple live streams this week with him basically just playing some classic console games again, and stuff like that. And he does this like on a weekly basis too. So,
it's not the S.
It's always cool to go and check it out and check him out and join him in the chat. He's really good about like keeping up with the chats as far as his game because he's looking right at everything. So it's pretty cool.
Retro's still doing the Extra Life fundraiser?
Yes, that's exactly it. Extra Life fundraiser. So we have
he does that shit every year, and he does it. I don't know. It's like months. I don't know how that shit works, but he does it for like it's not just like a week or whatever. He does it for a while.
I think it's pretty cool. I mean, I got to give him credit. It's
that dude's got That dude's got a garage. I mean, whatever his little dungeon, whatever.
Yeah.
That dude's got so many games. It's like looking at the nerds room.
Yeah.
Did you see
many games in there, bro?
He actually has a video where he builds the shelves that hold. Yeah. He shows you how to build.
That's about when I met Retro when he uploaded that video.
Oh yeah. Okay.
About back then.
So yeah, he hasn't put anything out for AD&D second edition, but he did do the Canadian Retro channel, so we've got that. Our buddy Xanamaru has been doing some live streaming early on, like he does. It's like coffee and gaming, so he'll do live streams of like Doom Eternal. He's been doing that. He did a couple of those this past week. So, again, if you're on the Discord, or if you check out the Discord, he's on there as well. His channel's in there. He's got Xanamaru, and he does, like I said, he does video games and stuff like that, and streams live. So you guys can always jump in on his chat and join him. The only thing I have left is my channel's updates, and then Quinn, we got yours. and you got those? You just dropped a video on painting and painting miniatures, and he did a almost a how to in my book, like on giving shoes to miniatures, because he put some boots on an ogre, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that was one of the first minis I ever printed. I didn't know what I was doing. I still don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, that came out bad. Like half his foot was missing, so I was like, I'll just replace it real quick with some super glue and baking soda.
But
and then the one didn't have a cape. Like he didn't print bad. It was he was modeled that way. I don't know what in the world. It just looked weird. So
it just still came out pretty cool. I think they came out pretty good. And the fact that you're getting rid of your shelf of shame is because I know we all have them. Everybody
you get an A+ and a gold star.
Yeah, the shelf of shame is completely painted. I do have more minis that aren't painted, but whatever. I'm still working on the castle. I swear, but real life kind of overrides sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
We've been playing Fandover lately, which is why I painted all the Fandover stuff. But we realized that we need a lot more scatter, like hundreds of pieces of scatter. It's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna go through this, which is my box of shame in a way. You know that like every time you find something in a dollar store, like you get an interesting piece of trash, you're like, oh yeah, I'll use this someday, and you put it in a box, and you never use it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this is. So we're gonna turn all this crap into something.
Yeah, we used to when we had a gaming club. We did the same thing. Like people would come in every week because we got together every Sunday, and they would come in every week with styrofoam and cardboard, egg crate cups and stuff like. Oh, we're gonna use this for that. All right, cool. Put it in the pile, and the pile just became like a stack of garbage.
Trash.
Yeah, and it was just like, all right, look, if we're not gonna do this stuff, get rid of it. You know what I mean? It's like it's time to clean up.
It's giving places for the mice to hide.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all want to talk about 3.5?
I don't know anything about it.
Wait, hold on.
Guggle. You got it?
Sorry, I had to take my medicine. I apologize.
My medicine?
Yep.
Dude, I'm a child of the video games, dude. I don't.
3.5.
Okay.
3.5.
I'm not an old grandpa man like you.
3.5 is when they turned D&D into a video game.
Yeah, but you're a grandpa.
I think 4 was more of a video game than 3.5.
But 3.5 is when they did it. I agree, but 3.5 is when they did it.
Oh man, one of those exploded in my mouth.
This 3.5 is when they introduced minis and all that shit, man. And a lot of people
they totally like
3 and 3.5.
Can you?
That's why, man. I got 3.5. If
Hold
not,
up.
I got a couple of video games I played.
Well, hang on a second.
Why?
I want to go over my stuff. God.
Oh, I thought you were done, Culo.
No, I'm almost done. I got you and me, and it's it.
Mina, how about that?
Okay. All right. All right. So, just real quick, I just wanted to touch on the fact that I did a live stream last week with a group of guys that invited me out. They were really cool guys, and they invited me to a second live stream, so we did that this past week. They are the
Gundam nerds.
Yeah, the Fox Valley Gunpla Club. And they basically build models and stuff like that. And they're doing live stream shows now where they're doing, they're building live and they're chit-chatting and they're answering questions if people have questions about model building and whatever, even Gundam, whatever. You know what I mean? There's also, they do RCs and all kinds of other stuff too. So it's, it's pretty cool. And I wanted to just give a shout out to Shane, Rob, Spencer, and Shinji. And Brian, those are the guys that usually, jump on the stream. But I wanted to give them a shout out because
there's a couple of them in our Discord.
They did join the Discord, yes, absolutely. And I think it's cool because it's like I always said, like if we're supporting each other, small channels and things like that, it's a good opportunity for all of us to grow. Who the fuck is using crumpling up?
It's AMSR, dude. Some people like that. Some people like that. It gets them off. Leave it alone.
Okay. Here, look. I got you. Wait.
Some people like that. Mira, que bonito.
I wanted to see how long it would take you to realize.
I was like, stop. Also put out my last Star Wars 2017 celebration video last week. And that was the longest one out of the 3. I didn't expect it to be as long.
C-3PO did not have a silver leg.
Listen, the proof is in the video.
That doesn't matter.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna put a challenge out to anybody who's watching. If you watch that video, watch the last episode of my Star Wars Celebration video. There's a statue in there of C-3PO and R2-D2. You guys tell me. You tell Hate whether or not C-3PO had a silver leg or not
I saw
in Star Wars.
I saw a New Hope on Super 8 film, dude.
I should give this dude a silver leg just to be funny.
Yeah, do it.
Do it in a red arm.
And obviously, I always put out a video on Monday with my Gundams and stuff. And then I just put a video out this morning for one of my RC things. So check that out if you get the chance. And I'm still working on the show for Friday. I just spoke to Critical, and he gave me the go ahead to use D&D After Dark.
Well, that's it. You have the go ahead.
So I will be looking for 4 people. 4 to join me on the stream on Friday for D&D After Dark.
This channel.
On this channel. So
that leaves you room for 2 guests. That's cool.
It will run 2 hours. We're not going to do 3 hours anymore. It's just going to run 2 hours. It's just 3 hours was just too long, and it just got outrageous, you know. So yeah, I want to have special guests on if I can, but if I do, that means someone won't be on the channel. You know, someone won't be on the show that night. That's just what it is. You know, I can't have 6 people on there, 7 people. It's just too hard to keep track of and keep everybody on the same thought process.
Yeah, and then Zero is like, no.
And I'm old, and I lose my patience, and I lose my patience, and I don't want to. You know, I don't want to go off on anybody for something stupid. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna try once every other week. Okay, I'm gonna try. We'll try it once every other week and see how it goes. And you know, if it works and everybody's comfortable, and we'll go from there. Okay, but bear with me. I'm still working on getting it together. And like I said, Crick gave me to go ahead, so we're good to go for.
So, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what did Vader tell Luke? How did he say it?
About Taco Tuesday?
Yeah, in the bag. What did he tell him? What did he say? You know what part I'm talking about.
Are we talking?
Quinn knows. Look, Quinn's shaking his head.
Are we talking about episode 5?
No. Yeah. No. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I had to think. I had to count in my head. You know, cause, dude, I watched him. You know, I watched him release. So like 1, 2, and 3 is 4, 5, 6 for me. Right.
Right.
But yeah.
You're killing me. Somebody's chatting? Read the chats.
That just came in, man. Give me a look. 1028. Posted a pic of my latest marble on the Tabletop Dungeoneers Discord server. That's a long-ass name.
I saw it. I seen it.
I can pull it up. I seen it. Oh, shit. I'm clicking buttons. Let me see. Where's it at? So what did he say? You never answered me. You see? Stop being old, dude.
What he said? What? He said, no, I'm your father.
What did Vader say?
He said, no.
You're so full of shit, dude. Even what's his name? What's his name that did the voice? What's his name?
James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones. Even he says Luke. Even he quotes it as Luke, I am your father. Look, Quinn shaking his head. Even he quotes it as that. Not only that, there's like Hallmark figurines that say Luke, I am your father.
No, I think this is the shortened version.
Well, I'm gonna Luke, I am your father is longer than no, I am your father.
I'm telling you, I don't think that's what it is. I'm calling BS. Somebody better get that.
Effect,
the Mandela effect, yeah.
It's the Mandela. It's the Mandela effect. It's the Mandela. It's the what was it with CERN, huh? Quinn, you want to put your screen on or something? It's too late. I did it.
I was trying to share Stu's picture.
Go original so it gets bigger.
Yeah, did that.
That is an Armiger Knight.
I don't know what that is.
It's one of the.
It's a robot.
It's from the Imperium, from the
robot.
You know, the humanities, and it is there's a princeps inside piloting it. It's one of the smaller knights, actually. It's pretty cool. I like it.
There you go.
Stu, what army are you painting that for, Stu? Is that Space Wolves?
Warhammer army.
I know that.
I'm sorry.
You're killing me.
I tried being a dumbass. I just can't accomplish it. I can only be a smart one.
Oh, I see what you did there. Okay. Nice.
It's a cool AF. That's what it is.
It is cool as fuck.
Let me see what Stu's saying.
Yeah,
Imperial Knights.
it's Imperial Knights, but what faction is that? What house is that? Is that a
The
house?
red and blue, dude. It's red and blue.
Shut
They
up.
said they are there. I'm sorry.
So rude.
I try. Anything you want to show, Quinn? Anything else? No porn. No porn. I know how you are. He sends me porn
Not
links.
just showing Stu's picture here.
He sends me porn links in chat all the time in DMs, and I'm like, Quinn, dude, stop. It just keeps showing it. It's all legal though. It's legal porn.
Like your
My
arrow
American
slut?
Gladiators theme.
You mean like your?
They don't have Canadian gladiators. We don't have those.
You mean like your arrow slut there? Hey,
My arrow slut.
did you ever print that?
Yeah, I remember that. The arrow slut. No, she's broken. And I told you. She's broken. She got holes all up in here. You can't print them.
Hose with hose.
Yeah. I mean, it's holes are good.
For sure. You gotta put it somewhere, right?
Yeah, you need holes. Yeah.
So what's going
3.5?
on? What's going on with you? Hey, what's going on with your situation? Your
My
channel?
printer broke.
Uh-oh.
And then I was looking at when I got the name. It's a weird name. Let me see if I can pull it up. The name. I'm gonna do it on my phone and tell y'all. Because I saw this. Because I like direct drive printers, and I was looking at an entry level. It's just that right now everything's so expensive right now. Man. They're having like 100.
What is direct drive for dummies? What is that? What does that mean?
Okay. A direct drive printer is you have a motor which drives the filament into the heated end, right? Into the nozzle. Okay. Direct drive, the motor is located directly above the nozzle. So here's your nozzle, here's your motor pushing filament in.
Okay.
There's another style called a Bowden style. And what happens there is your nozzle's over here, your filament motor could be way over here somewhere, and there's usually a tube to help lead it. So what happens is when you're using the Bowden style driver, which, I mean, they have their pros and cons, but I prefer direct drive. What happens is that filament in between the nozzle head and that motor can bow, and it can kink. Yeah. So depending on the filament you're using, you have less options.
Gotcha.
Like flexible filaments or nylons maybe, because they'll bow too much, they'll kink.
That makes sense.
So yeah, but I was looking at direct drive and the price is usually about the same. I don't even know why they do the other one either, because I don't know what the pro is to it, honestly, other than like they tend to put sensors and shit up there at the top. I don't.
Well, maybe the sensors help keep.
What is it? The Solvo. I don't know, because direct drive can have a sensor too as well. I don't know why they use Bowden, to tell you the truth. Other than it's closer to the filament maybe. Well, one thing that could be when you disconnect from a direct drive, when you pull your filament out, what can happen is that since it comes on a roll, it can kink, and then you won't even notice it, but it'll kink in upon itself in the roll, and then while you're printing, you'll have a knot, and then the printer can't pull. So maybe the Bowden style, since it's you can pull it out of the hot end and it's attached somewhere else, you have less of that issue. Maybe that's a pro to it.
Okay.
But the printer I'm looking at is the Solvo SV01. But
Dude, I want the Elegoo Saturn. Have you seen that thing?
It's a resin printer, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, you want a resin printer.
Can't print my own minis without resin. Allergy season, dude. Yeah, No, the Photon is tiny. It's like the Mars. The Saturn is just freaking gigantic. What's funny is Elegoo sent the printer to a whole bunch of guys who print, and every single one of them had the same complaint. It sticks too hard. The adhesion's just ridiculous. And Elegoo pretty much shut them all down. They're like, yeah, because you morons are using the default setting, which is meant to hold like an entire bottle of resin-sized print. Turn down the setting.
I mean, the biggest problem I have on my resin printer is adhesion. So I don't see why you wouldn't want adhesion, because it's like when you resin print, it's like walking through mud. Okay, you ever walk through mud and your shoe gets stuck, and then so the faster you move your foot like this, the more suction. It's the same thing in resin. Resin's it's a viscous liquid. So when your build plate goes down, the faster you have your lift, the more suction as well. And I mean, adhesion lets you print faster just because
it was baking that first layer for like a minute.
Oh, that's crazy.
Well, it's designed to stick, huge prints. So,
Yeah, but that's crazy. Who would want to bake a first layer for a minute? I mean,
well,
your
if you,
first layer. Well, I mean, I don't know. My first layer
If
is
you're
like
doing, I think
18,
what he's
20
saying is if
seconds.
you're doing something with a lot of space,
Yeah.
yeah,
you're not actually
Yeah, I
baking
know.
one little thing for too long. You
yeah,
know what I'm
well,
saying?
yeah, because their default settings, because it's a much bigger printer, is designed to stick it to the build plate so hard you can print something that literally takes the entire bottle of resin and it's not going to fall off.
Makes
No,
sense.
I wouldn't want to resin print something that big.
Well,
Yeah,
you
you
could.
would. The thing is, you could though. You say that, but
How much is that? No, I wouldn't want to. How much is that printer?
It's like $400. Everybody was expecting 800 plus,
That's it.
and yeah,
That's
it's
it.
cheap.
That's cheap. That's cheap. That's
Um,
photon. The photon S is like 450.
the main
That's
reason I
cheap.
want the main reason I want the Saturn now is if I do my villagers, I'll be selling sets of normal people like on Etsy or whatever. And with a bigger print bed, I can print the whole thing at one go. Like just print batches of them.
Man, you know what? There's plenty of prints where I put more than one model on, and I had success on print one, fail on print two, success on print three. It's weird. Even Miller has the same thing. I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes you'll get every single model off, and it's the same file, the same dot photon, and you run it again, and you only get like 2 of the 4 or 3 of the 4. I don't know. Like that skull bed too. I'll run a skull bed, and I don't know. I think it's like 20 skulls on a bed. I don't know, whatever. And I get like sometimes I'll get 18. Sometimes I get 19. Sometimes I get 15.
You probably have dead pixels.
No, because you can light it up and look at it. It's not
Oh.
that. No, it's like one print I'll get all 20. The next print I'll get 18. The next print I'll get all 20. The next print I'll get 15.
I
you
don't.
have to support those skulls when you print them.
Hold on. Yeah, but I just use one support.
Okay.
Hold on.
I'm not seeing any holes in this model, dude. You'll have to get with me later and tell me what the problem is. Show me what the problem is. It'd be easier, actually. Well, that's another problem too. I don't know anything about resin printing, so when I make a model, I put it in Cura and slice it there to see if there's an issue, and Cura will freak out over the dumbest little thing. So if I see slices where there's like gaps and stuff like that, then I know I gotta fix that thing. With the model haystack, I don't see anything wrong, so I'm like, clearly there's a problem. You can't print it, but I don't see it.
It's all French to me, dude. Until I get one, you know what I mean? Then it's a learning curve.
I think I gotta give me some ZBrush. That's what I need.
Miller says, "Yep, it happens. My conclusion was temperature or not mixed well." I guess he's responding to what Hate was saying.
Yeah,
he's back.
Show's over. He's back.
Get the monkeys back in the zoo, and the tigers and the lions and the bears.
Yeah, but say you see that there's a tiger on the loose in like San Diego or something.
Yep.
What was he saying?
Yep. They got.
Yep, it happens. My conclusion was a temperature or not mixed well. I don't know if he's talking about. He must be talking about what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I don't think it's that. I think it's just. I think what happens is when the bed comes down and you have more than one model on it, it tends to, because it's not perfect, right? So I think like maybe one model might just be a hair taller, and then that starts throwing your bed off level. I think. I don't know.
It shouldn't be, because it should be flashing each layer the same all the way.
It's not perfect, Quinn. It's not. It's not. It's not 0.05 exactly Nat's ass. It's not. Nothing ever is.
Is your bed level?
Huh?
Is your bed level?
With it. Nothing, dude. Nothing is exactly dead balls. Nothing. Not water jet. Not laser. Nothing.
I am.
Zero's balls are dead.
Dead. Gone.
They're dead balls even though? But are they even? Are they the same size?
No, one is bigger than the other.
Which one, right? One.
I don't know. I don't look at it. I just know. Whichever one hits the toilet water first, okay? It depends on the morning, you know? Hey, listen, it's going to happen to everybody, okay? It's going to happen to all of you. Unless you didn't have it to begin with. What's that, Quinn? Oh, that's a statue. Nice. Very cool.
You need to cover it with a bunch of moss and
you could also make it a what do you call it? A construct. You know,
Yeah.
you can use it in an adventure as a construct.
I'm gonna cover it in a bunch of moss and vines. Just trying to figure out how I want to do that.
Use my vines.
So real quick, and I know this. I mean, we don't have our special guest on, so can we talk about it or no?
I mean, if you want to, I don't really give a fuck.
I mean, look,
you didn't want.
I don't like talking politics, and this isn't anything to do with politics. I just, you know, I just want to make sure people are safe and being safe and smart. The thing about being safe is you got to be smart first, right? Like, don't put yourself in a situation where you could get hurt or you could cause harm just by being there, or happenstance. Don't tell me like, oh, I just went to go and to view and witness. Well, you're putting yourself in danger. Don't do that. That's just stupid.
Yeah, I wouldn't. No. Only way I would go out there is if I was doing journalism.
Stay home, stay safe, and keep your family safe. That's your responsibility as far as I'm concerned. Especially, you're a grown ass man. You shouldn't be running around trying to look for trouble. Just stay home, keep your family safe, and protect the homestead. That's all I got to say about that.
The homestead? You're in Chicago. It's bad over there, what?
Yeah, it's bad, but here's the thing, man. Like, there's a lot of shit being exposed right now with this whole situation, and there is a lot of coordination and money being funneled into this whole rioting situation. And
they said even Leonardo DiCaprio donated.
It's just getting ridiculous. People are literally being bussed in to cause havoc. Like, what kind of society do we live in where someone could do that and it be looked at as heroic, right, and justified? Like, someone can say, hey, I'm going to pay you set amount to go here and just cause havoc, break windows, graffiti, do whatever you want. It doesn't matter. What kind of world are we living in where that's acceptable behavior? Like, how does that justify anything? You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't to me. It just doesn't.
Well, look. Yeah, if the country was taken over by communists, hate would be pissed.
Mm-hmm.
I would be pissed out, and I would burn the American flag if it was taken over by communists. If we turned into a communist, if we got rid of the Constitution and everything. So I can't. My point is that I can't say I don't understand why people hate America. I guess is what I'm trying to get at. I can understand how.
Listen, I get it.
I would just be from a different viewpoint.
Right, I get it. I understand. Here's the thing too, and here's the thing. A lot of people just don't get. They just do not understand this. Just because I understand you does not mean I have to agree with you. Period. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, when you explain something to me and say, hey, listen, this is why we're rioting, or rather, let me rephrase. This is why we're protesting. I have the comprehension skills to say, okay, I have taken that information in, I have processed it, and I completely understand your perspective and point now. Thank you. That does not mean I agree with you or disagree with you. Now, that's a whole different answer to a whole different question. And just because, here's another thing. While I disagree with what these police officers have done, 100%, no life should be lost in that kind of negligence. I don't also agree with the rioting. There's no correlation between the two. I can have a different opinion on each subject and still have my senses. It doesn't mean just because I agree with one or disagree with one, I have to disagree with the other or agree with the other. Like, I don't like what the police did, so yeah, I like that they're rioting. No, they're two different subjects, two different issues, and they're different in the sense that I don't have to agree with one or the other. Or, you know what I'm saying? It's never just black and white. It's never just, if you understand why why it's wrong what these police did, then you should agree with us rioting.
I believe in good and evil.
I mean, I do too. And that's what I'm saying.
But I mean, like, an absolute good and evil, something is either absolutely good or absolutely evil.
I think that those people that are funding this whole debacle is fucking evil. I don't think, you know what? I don't think it is. I honestly think
it's China.
Here's the deal. They may be the fucking shadow in the back, but I honestly think it's people here who are trying to make a statement that have the money to do it. and that's
No, but
who's doing it.
Well, but a lot of those people are sold out of China as well.
Sure. I mean, I don't know. Who knows what they're doing in the back back of their closed doors? I don't know. I don't give a shit. What I care about is the end result of what's happening here. You know, am I going to go out and fight? No. I mean, I'm just saying.
A lot of that shit straight faux. It's straight astroturf. A lot of it is.
Right. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Smoke screens. I get it.
Star Wars. Star Wars 3.5 or my video games I bought.
Hold on. Stu says that he wishes he had a 3D printer.
I put it up there.
So he could print a trophy for the Blood Bowl league he's running. You running a Blood Bowl league, Stu?
And then Stu said one of us could probably print it for you. I guess Quinn volunteered, Stu.
There you go.
No. Now you know.
It's got to be a little tiny trophy though. Little so the little guys, you can put it right on top of the miniature's head. Little baby.
Make it look like the mini's holding it. It's about half the size of a mini.
Exactly.
Well, then you also got to print an orc bikini girl to go on the other side.
That's
cheerleaders, dude. Cheerleaders.
I don't even know if the orcs don't have females.
Orcs, yes, they do. Get the fuck out of here.
Not in Warhammer. Not in Warhammer.
Oh, I don't know.
There's no women in Warhammer orcs.
Well, they're mushrooms or something, right?
They're mushrooms. Yeah, they're fungus.
How about dwarves?
According to the fluff, yeah, they're female dwarves.
They were?
Yeah. They're called squats.
Because a lot of people think that there are no female women, no dwarf women.
Nah,
they just spring up out of the ground.
It's the beards.
Stupid.
It's Lord of the Rings reference, bro. Neither one.
Yeah, man. Come on.
Y'all not on my team.
I got it.
That's
I got it. I just dismiss it.
God. You don't like Lord of the Rings?
I do. I love Lord of the Rings. I just deflected it. It's like Dragon Ball Z that shit.
No, because I had this scoreboard for you, and you were like, you had a lot of scores. And I was about to take like 5 of them off.
No, I know what. Listen, fool.
Because you're already a Jedi, dude.
Did you guys read the Lord of the Rings, or did you watch the movies? Is that just? No judgment, no judgment at all. But have you actually read?
Mira. Yes, okay. I read it.
Because I read The Hobbit in like fucking grammar school, and then I read Lord of the Rings in high school, and I was blown away.
Nah, I'll tell you what, Return of the King was boring as fuck until the end. The beginning of Return of the King was boring.
But the books were like that in a sense too.
No, that's what I'm talking about. The book.
Yeah,
I'm talking about the book. I'm not talking about the movie. The movie was good.
Yeah, because it's all condensed.
Boring. No, it's because it's like Jesus Christ. It's like 4 chapters of the Rohinians mustering. That's all it is.
Yep.
Mustering. It's chapters of mustering of, and this force is coming from that side, and then finally Aragon goes off through the fucking cave, and you're like, thank God.
Yeah, Tolkien's really got that problem. He's like, let me tell you about this dude, but first I got to tell you about like his generations, 14 generations back.
Yeah.
That's good though, because there's lore, backstory.
Oh yeah, you can build on all that lore, but my problem was like his over descriptive nature. Like, all right, the Treants moved right near Helm's Deep. Like there was a whole thing with the Treants by Helm's Deep. They didn't put in the movies, but then he goes like into 2 chapters of describing the grass and the trees around the Treants in Helm's Deep. I was like, God damn, dude! Like I was like, come on. But to be fair, it gave me a lot of reference for my dungeon mastering. Whenever I were to describe something in my DMing, it just got a little bit more descriptive. You know what I'm saying?
You know who's good for that? Read some Anne Rice.
Look.
What was that? What happened?
That's me deflecting. Like,
why? You don't like Anne Rice?
No, she's fine. I just found the Book of Lestat and the Interview with the Vampire on audiobook. So I'm gonna listen to that.
Lestat's good. The Vampire Lestat is good.
Yeah,
it's good. Too. But the thing about Anne Rice is that, man, Anne Rice will describe the entire room to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's
annoyingly so.
If you like that, if you want to learn how to describe shit, Anne Rice will teach you. You read her shit. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So Lestat's good though.
I
read up to Blood Canticle, and I read. I think I read one of the Mayfair Witch books, which I didn't like the Mayfair Witches. But
I'm actually listening to. I gotta finish this book. I'm listening to Neuromancer, which is the first something Williams. I can't remember his name, but this is the first book that actually it's like the grandfather of cyberpunk. Cyberpunk, Shadowrun, all those sci-fi, you know, Johnny Mnemonic, The Matrix. This is like the grandfather novel for all that stuff. They
I
even
read
have
like
they reference like Street Samurais and you know the dialogue they use in Cyberpunk and Shadowrun role-playing games. So
I
it's a pretty
read
cool book.
one
Hmm?
of it was either one or two. I don't remember if it was two Shadowrun novels I read, and I can't remember the plot, but I mean because it was years ago, dude. But I read it was either one or two. I remember liking them, of course. I remember that. But all that shit was in there. Decking elves, all that shit was in there. It
Hmm.
was cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
But they
pretty
were
cool
like they were
book.
straight off Shadowrun novels, you know.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the names of them either. It was so long ago.
But yeah, I gotta say, like, I expected it to be kind of hokey because it's so old, you know, like where I think is like the very early '80s or late '70s. This book
Do
was
they say
written.
chummer?
Yeah, they do say chummer and chumba, chummer, yeah, all that stuff, dude. And like I was laughing because it was like, holy shit, you could see where all these other artists and writers got their dialogue and a lot of their inspiration from this book, you know. Um, so like I said, it's a pretty cool book, but it's actually it still works even now because okay, so you know, like the book is about the future, right? It's like 20 something something something, right? But even now, with our modern times, with decades later from this book being written, it still references futuristic tech in that dark, you know, that dark sci-fi future. You know what I'm saying? Like it's still relevant. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like relevant, but like it still feels like I'm reading something about the future, even though I'm in like 30 years in the future from the book being written. You know what I'm saying?
And we got a lot of that shit that's in there. We already have a lot of it.
Sure, sure.
I mean, because there's already people are already jacked into computers.
Well, yeah, they
You know,
talk about that, neuro plugging and stuff like that, and the stuff like Elon Musk's been talking about with the chip
that
programming.
shit's already happening.
You know, and
SpaceX went up. Y'all know about that?
yeah,
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
it was very cool.
It was like my old lady didn't know about it.
What?
Yeah, she didn't know. I was like, man, they're about to launch. And then she's like, what you talking about? I said, SpaceX. And oh, who cares? I'm like, who cares? I mean, that's like civilian.
Freaking historic, man.
It's
Yeah,
like
that's like civilian. They're astronauts, but they're civilian. I got John here. Y'all ready?
John, your buddy.
Yeah, Galaxy Props.
Bring it on in.
Galaxy Props. Big John.
Hey,
What's
hey,
up, buddy?
guys. Hey,
What's up?
same. Working. Or
Man,
should I say,
I haven't talked to you in a while, dude.
I know, right? How's it going?
It's been like 2 years. Huh?
It's been a long time. I like that background you got there.
That's my dynasty flag.
I see that. It's pretty pimp.
That's that helmet right there I got from you.
I see that. It's real nice.
This is Asajj Ventress bounty hunter helmet.
Yeah.
So this is John from Galaxy Props. He's got an Etsy store. John goes around the country to like, I mean, pretty much if you've been to a Comic-Con, you've probably seen him, especially a big one.
Ooh, that's sick. That statue Quinian showing is pretty sick. Is that custom made or what?
Oh, we all do like all kinds of. I mean,
No,
if
I
we
didn't.
if we
I
don't
didn't make
custom
the
it, we
statue. I
modify
don't know who made that. Someone on the Facebook 3D printing group was offering it for free. He normally does paid models. I
Nice.
just messed it up because I wanted to.
Okay. Gives a detail, right? Hey.
Yeah. Oh yeah. John's in the Sith dynasty.
Well,
Yeah.
I wanted to just say really quick, John, welcome aboard. And it's a pleasure to meet you. I've heard a lot about you.
Thank you.
Hate's been talking up a storm about you, and I'm really excited to have you on. And I appreciate you coming on with us and spending some time and chit chatting about your craft, because I was looking at some of your stuff on the Etsy page, and I got to say, man, this shit is baller.
I appreciate that.
Really dope, man. So hopefully we can pick your brain and get some of your trades. No, maybe not your real secrets, but some of your trades. You know,
Sure.
help some people out.
Sure.
I did have a question on some armor.
Yeah.
Mandalorian armor questions, but I will hold those until we go through. I believe Hate has a series of questions he's going to bombard you with really quick so we can get our Discord group to know who you are and what you're about, and you know, kind of what you're doing, and you know where you've been.
Absolutely.
Hey, push F11.
Who, me?
Yeah,
I know
you.
what I'm doing, dude. I got it. Huh? I got it. I mean, really, how many conferences a year do you go to, John?
Well, I mean, before all this madness happened, I mean, there was a time, and once again, it's all trial and error. I'm going to go back to that. When I got in the system about 9 years ago, there were maybe one to two shows a month. and then it just people started doing it for a business standpoint, thinking, oh yeah, it's going to be a great moneymaker. So every city and town you can think of start creating a Comic-Con. And of course, they're spreading the money so thin, I had to jump on all the bandwagons. So I was doing 3 a month.
Wow.
So, what are you looking at? 36 shows a year of traveling all over the United States.
I mean, the adventure's got to be fucking awesome, right?
Oh my gosh, I can't. You can only imagine, and I know you can. I mean, all the cosplayers, the models, the cool creative people out there that are just putting.
I just put out my video. I just re-edited some videos I put out very early on in my YouTube career, and I went to Celebration 2017, and it just the convention itself was,
Massive.
wasn't that great. It wasn't organized that well.
Sure.
The people is what make that show what it is, right?
Absolutely.
Because everyone that puts effort into that show puts 110% effort. I mean, the things that were there, the props, the costumes, the cosplayers, man, dude, there was like a flock of Ewoks, like Ewoks. And I was like, who? You know what I mean? Like, it would.
I know, right? Where else do you see that? Yeah,
exactly. It's amazing. It's amazing.
It was. I was there as well, and it was just. I mean, just the stuff people contributed to the show. That's honestly what made the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was just amazing. I really love shows like that because, you just get to see so much creativity. Yeah.
Very, very cool. Hey, what else you got here? Yes. Where can people follow you, John? If they want to jump on the deck.
Oh, sure, absolutely. Yeah. I'm working on this whole this media thing. I'm really horrible at it. I'm more of in the shop, kind of creating, you know what I mean? So it's just
absolutely.
That's honestly where my business lacks as far as advertising. I just got to the point and I'm getting better at it now because of this whole lockdown COVID thing. So I'm seeing myself being on the computer a lot more, obviously. And I'm also in my shop a lot, but I'm getting better at the internet and the online media, which has kind of kept me afloat during this whole situation, because that's another story we can talk about here in a little bit about, when this thing hit, all my shows canceled. So, and that was my bread and butter.
Yeah. Right.
And so having to make that adjustment of, okay, I'm home. Okay, how am I going to pay my, my shop bills? How am I, you know what I mean? How am I going to, it's like, okay, what's going to happen here? What, do I go to Home Depot to get product? Do I get around people who might be carrying this shit? You know what I mean? The fear that this thing created is just, it's insane. It was just insane. I just got to the point where, you know what? I'm just going to have to go all in and just do something.
I want this.
Absolutely.
You heard me?
Oh, you want the Majora's Mask?
Hell yeah, man. That's sick. I didn't know
Ocarina of Time is better.
Ocarina of Time is better. It is better, but Majora's Mask is sick.
Thank you so much.
What are you on Instagram and Twitter?
I am. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, that was a question earlier. So I'm on Instagram at Clark_JC. My nickname's JC. JAYCEE Galaxy Creations. That is my Galaxy Creations. That's my Instagram. And then, of course, this my Etsy page where you can see most of my products that I have available at the moment. So I try to keep that updated like daily. Then, of course, my Facebook, which is Galaxy Props or Galaxy Creations. That's another story. I started Galaxy Creations before this whole thing, and I don't know. I was so slow on getting my name out there, but someone purchased the domain name.
GalaxyCreations.com.
Yeah, somebody got a hold of them. Yep, it was. Yeah, I mean, okay, so I went to go get all that stuff and create my name and keep, because it was my business name. Well, there's a million names out there with the same name. So someone already took that from me before I got to it. So I went ahead and changed the Galaxy props because no one else had it. You know what I mean? So it's one of those. See, and that's even spelled wrong. GLA. Who spelled that? Did you spell that?
Me,
Who
don't make
spelled?
fun of me, John. Stop.
Okay.
Don't make fun of me. I'll tell a dynasty.
But yeah. So that's I'm slowly going over to Galaxy props. I'm going to start selling some of my designs, my 3D renders, with my company sister company Galaxy Designs, which is in the process and works now, so people can actually do it themselves, because it seems like the world is at a do it themselves kind of thing. People are buying 3D printers, people are, you know what I mean? So there's so much freedom. Where'd you get that picture at?
I don't know.
Where'd you get that
You forgot, hey, bro, you're not that old, huh? You forgot you sent me that?
okay. I'm like,
Oh, okay.
gosh, okay. Yeah, I'm like, that's not the helmet still that works right now. That
You want to talk about this one?
The chaplain. Yeah, I'm starting to get into more Warhammer 40K stuff.
Yeah,
And
buddy.
yeah,
That's my favorite right there. That
oh, it
chaplain.
is. Okay,
It looks like Grimaldus.
and you know more.
Reclusiarch Grimaldus from the there's a novel out called Hell's Reach. It's about the planet of Armageddon. He's the chaplain that goes there, and it's like 5 of his guys, and they basically save the planet. But they lose everybody except for him.
I got cold chills just listening to it. I mean, I've been.
My God, dude. I was in the hospital and I came across this novel and I thought, okay, it's like a visual novel, right? And I was like, I'll watch it. And it starts off in black and white, sketchy, like pencil drawing, and it just evolved into like CG and everything. But the story was so damn good. I shared it with everybody. People were like, dude, I'm not watching a 3-hour movie. I'm like, trust me, this is what you want to see. If you don't know anything about 40K, watch this show.
Really?
Yeah. Cujo says I'll take one of everything.
How much? Let me just really quick. Yeah. How much is that helmet? How much would that helmet run?
So I honestly haven't even. I mean, like I said, it was one of those. I take requests, and when I say if there was 100% of 40K material out there, I only know 3%. I honestly, you know, I know a little bit about Space Marines. I've watched a lot of videos on the YouTube that people are posting, so I know a little bit about it. I know that I don't know a whole lot what you just mentioned on the chaplain thing, but that story it sounds awesome because I've listened to some of the footage on it. Oh my gosh! So honestly, my Space Marines and my other ones that I carry, the other ones that the pictures are there, should be somewhere. They only go for $250.
Okay.
So yeah, and they're made for bigger heads. So you know, if you've got a 25-inch head, this thing's gonna go on your head no problem. So.
Yeah, I got a pretty big dome. So.
But by the way, I want to tell y'all, I got a couple of John's helmets. They're solid.
Yes, solid. You do. Hey,
they're thick. They're solid. Yeah.
I appreciate that.
They're solid. Are they NIJ rated?
What's that?
Bulletproof.
Oh yeah, not yet. We're working on that one.
Have you seen the DevTech helmets?
I have not.
They're actually bulletproof helmets. They're for handguns or something. I wouldn't get shot in the head with a rifle by them. But anyway, they're supposed to be bulletproof. The main thing is they look awesome. They're like Boba Fett helmet.
I have a friend who actually works for that company.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, he actually works for that company. He actually helped. Believe it or not, he started off as an overweight airsofting kid.
Okay.
He joined our group a long time ago.
Sounds like a walking target. I like that.
He would come out to the field. He would play. He worked hard. I mean, the kid is in great shape now. I mean, he's touring the world. Like, he goes all over the world, man.
Nice.
He's working with this company with this armor, and it's just. I keep telling him, like, send me some of this damn armor so I can do some reviews on it. You know, but it's so expensive.
Well, it's basically Boba Fett's helmet. You've got like a freaking heads-up display in there. You got little fans for the goggles. It's amazing.
It's amazing. I love that. Nowadays they're also going into the 3D printing back into that again. The materials that now they're accessible. You can. I think Kevlar is one of them now. I think you can actually 3D print Kevlar, and that's insane.
Dude, they're 3D printing metal, dude. They're 3D printing organs.
Gold. I mean, it's insane. Yeah. You know, like what's next, right? What's next?
Well, Cujo says now we know why Hate can't afford Dwarven Forge too many helmets. How many helmets I got? I got 3 Bobas. I've got the Asajj. and I've got two. What are the other ones you made? Those two I bought from you.
Oh, those are
I don't know.
those
I don't even know what that's called. That's custom. I like you made
custom
that up,
pieces.
huh?
Yeah. I think you give me some images, and I did some custom work for you. So
I was just gonna ask. That was actually my next question. Was if I mean I know you do. I saw some of Hate's helmets and they're phenomenal. So you
thank
do
you.
custom work from drawings and stuff like that. Like so, if I
I
sent you a doodle, said, okay, I want this
absolutely,
helmet. Okay,
absolutely.
so that's key, people. That's key. Really quick.
Yeah,
Anybody who's watching, or if you watch this after the fact is that this man actually does from custom designs. That's very crucial. I mean, I get it. There's a lot of people printing Boba Fett helmets. Okay,
right,
dime a
Let me show
dozen.
y'all.
Okay, but the
right.
fact that this man can do custom work, take advantage of that. You know what I mean?
That's Big John right there.
Look at
That
that.
sure was. God, I
That's
think that was 8 years, 9 years, 8 years ago, maybe.
that's
This is actually an
badass.
article on impossible DC cosplays. So
Yeah.
that's Big
Is
John right there. And
is
you
that?
made this whole suit?
I did. I did. I back
Wow.
when EVA foam was just starting out.
That's insane.
I mean, bare.
Booyah.
Right? Exactly. And I got to go to Dragon Con that year, and they were doing a new 52 shoot, and George Perez was going to be there. And George Perez is one of my biggest favorite.
Leave that picture up, Hate. Leave that picture up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You must have a cyborg fan in the house.
I think I was the first one in the whole world that actually put a cyborg together.
I'm
I mean,
talking to right now live. That's him, and he created
yeah.
that whole cyborg costume.
So that actually, I mean, I
Isn't that cool?
got interviewed by Atlanta News. I mean, they found me, they stopped me, had me. I was out of costume, walking around, and someone said, "Hey, man, you're wanted. You got to get back in costume." I was like, "What? Why?" You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
gosh, I think, oh, well, there was just so many. I got a lot of love from that, and I still appreciate that, and I appreciate the people the recognition of artwork, because it's kind of my biggest thing. It's all art, and one of my things I live by is you either create in this world or you disintegrate. I mean, that's
Exactly.
kind of you
Yes.
right. So yeah, so that's my go-to think of motivation that I use all the time. But golly, what did I mean, I must have somebody posted that somewhere, and I must have came in. I've never gotten more than 4,000 or 5,000 likes before, but it created close to 10,000 likes on some page for that.
You can see why,
Um,
though. You know what I mean, like that's
it was
just
that's just behind that is the Georgia power plant.
This
So
is
of course,
screenrant.com, by the way, just so y'all know.
okay, yeah. So yeah, there's things that
Yeah.
and another good one I love was when you Googled cyborg, you found my picture. It came right up. I love that. And then if you Google Luke Cage Power Man, my
Yeah.
picture came up, and it was
Yep.
just I was like, okay, this is am I famous or do I, you know what I mean? But all that was just motivation to keep creating, keep putting stuff out there for people to know that it's possible. A lot of times people don't do things because they don't feel like it's possible, or they have the lack of, whatever confidence in doing it. But
definitely is an intimidating hobby.
yeah, well, yeah, and it can be.
Cosplay is fun though, man.
It
It
is fun.
It is. I mean, believe me, when you get dressed up and you're walking around and people can recognize you and point their fingers, that so and so, you know what I mean? That's that feeling. I get it, but I can definitely see, especially something of that caliber,
Right.
see it being very intimidating for people. So the fact that you can put it out there and say, "Hey, it's not as hard as you think
No.
to get
Yeah.
in." You just
No.
got to have a passion for getting through that project.
It,
You know what I mean?
it literally, and passion's so huge. Zero. What you said, the word passion. I mean, that's what makes the world go around. Honestly,
Mhm.
it's like anything you can think you can create by just having passion.
Yep.
I mean, that's the fuel of motivation. I mean, it's just so I'm totally with you on that one. At least
But
got
I
the
agree with you.
good.
I actually agree with you
I'm gonna pull up your
100%.
Decepticus. That's what it is.
I actually on my YouTube channel, in my description and of my channel, I actually put in there, what are you putting out in the world?
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
I don't care how small your channel is, I don't care how small your production value is, I don't care how big it is. If you're not putting something creative out there, you're wasting time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you know,
Right.
creativity is like the source of everything that changes. It starts with creativity.
That's right. I so agree with you there. That's
What
evolving the
number are you,
world.
John? Do you know?
Exactly.
68, I believe. SD068.
So okay, so you
Yeah, you're
how many
before me. There you
different
go. You're
cosplays?
6'7", buddy. You're
How many-
6'7".
Oh,
How
am I
many different
6'7"?
You're with the
cosplays do
program.
you have right now, John?
Oh, how many costumes personally for myself?
Yes, you yourself. How many do you have at the moment?
Oh gosh, and this doesn't sound good. Okay, so I had a house fire about
Ooh.
4 years ago, 4 years ago, and I lost about everything.
Mm.
So as of now, since I've been slowly getting back together, my arsenal, I'm probably looking at 4 completed costumes. And I know, but before the
That's
fire, I had 25
No, I know,
costumes.
because like Sith, you had like, oh, God,
No,
like 6 set of Sith robes, huh?
right? Oh
So-
yeah, oh
Yeah.
yeah, oh yeah. So
So,
yeah,
do you favor?
God, I didn't know that,
Do
man.
you
I didn't know
favor
you
the
lost all
Sith,
that.
or is it?
God.
Is it? I mean, is it just an easier
There's-
choice for
There's,
you?
on,
or
there's
do you-
only one side, Zero.
listen to
Zero, stop that. There's only one side.
No,
Ooh, he's
Zero.
got that. Is that blue?
I am one with the Force. The Force is with me.
You know what color that is?
I can't-
Lime.
Is that like,
There's only one color, saber.
oh,
Zero.
that was purple. Okay.
Yeah, it's purple.
I need one of those, but I need it in yellow.
No,
yeah,
they only make red sabers, dude.
yeah. Listen to him, man.
So John, which do you prefer, Sith or Jedi, or is it?
You know, okay. So when I first started this, I mean, honestly, if you look at it, the Sith, it's so beautiful. Oh, look how beautiful! Look how beautiful that blade is. Look how the illumination of that. You know, it's eye catching.
Look, Mira.
I mean, look at it. It spells excitement. People's blood starts boiling. People get motivated. I mean, why would you choose Sith? I mean, come on. I mean, you know. Am I right, Zero? You feel me? You feel me? Z?
I don't want my apprentice trying to kill me.
well,
But-
you know,
but-
I'm gonna be
But just-
100%
you just don't let him
honest.
do it.
I'll be 100% honest. I love them both.
I do too. Honestly, I do too.
For different reasons.
Okay.
Now, cosplay wise, I have a Jedi costume because that's just what I went with first.
Okay.
I do love. I have my Maul saber. You know,
Oh, yeah.
I love the crimson sabers. They're just come on.
yeah.
It's red. It's
Absolutely.
My saber's actually orange.
my favorite Sith is Darth Maul. You know,
Okay.
Absolutely.
because I love Ray Park. I mean, the guy is just phenomenal. He's
Oh,
a
he
great
is.
martial artist. You know, his history with martial arts and just how he even got into the project and got on screen was just phenomenal.
And
to
isn't
me.
that,
So,
isn't that so disappointing how in episode 1 we barely saw him, man?
Yeah.
Wasn't Ray
know.
Park also Toad? Next
Yes.
So
Yes.
awesome.
Yeah, he was Toad in
and he
X-Men.
was
Yeah,
Snake Eyes from GI Joe as well.
that's right. Snake Eyes. That's right.
So he's done.
Dude's
he's
got
done-
the skills, man.
I mean, they did a voiceover for him because Lucas didn't like his voice. You know,
I
But
know.
what
They
it
did
is.
that to Prowse too.
They
So I
did the
guess I
same
kind of,
they did the same thing with Darth Vader.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it is what it is. But the character itself, I mean, even Lucas admitted he's like, I messed up. I should have never killed that character. And that's
Right.
why we have Clone Wars. That's why we have him back. You know what I mean? But that character was just a phenomenal.
But he
Oh.
didn't know Maul was gonna blow up.
Right.
That's what
Right.
it was.
Right. Yeah.
Once Maul blew up, Lucas was like, "Oh, okay."
Whoops.
Well, it's like Boba Fett. Dude's got like 5 lines and everybody loves him.
Everybody really liked him. Okay.
Mhm.
Oh, he was
I mean,
beautiful.
the thing with Boba Fett, the dude didn't speak a word. He
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
killed like right away. I mean, he was. Let's be real. Great looking costume, but he was a punk. Like he got taken out like a punk and whatever. But he was so iconic. They
Yeah.
had to bring him back. They had to say no, he didn't die
Yeah.
in the Sarlacc pit. You know what I mean? And they had to
Right.
make an entire generation of characters based on that simple suit of armor.
Ain't that awesome? That was just crazy. Yeah,
And I
that's
mean,
crazy.
and how people receive it is just it's amazing. You know what I mean? And that's what blows it up. You know.
Right.
So-
I have theories on those because honestly, if you look at the Boba Fett and the whole aura of Boba Fett and Darth Maul, they're motivated. Okay, they're a symbol of motivation. I mean, find the bad
Not
guy.
like a Jedi at all.
Right. Find
Jedi
the
haven't.
yeah, right. They're not the Jedi are just kind of sitting
No
back, kind of
motivation,
watch
they-
things happen. They're the kind of
They dye their robes.
Jedi are punks.
That's part of Jedi training. You ever read that, John? They dye their robes and they have to go and commune with their crystals. And
Listen,
nah, man, we kill shit and make robes. We don't have time for that.
You're not wrong. But,
Oh, that's hilarious.
Mass produce your lightsabers, though.
Yeah,
you sure
that's
do.
the truth. Yeah.
So, who was your favorite Star Wars character? Hands down, you can only choose one. John, who would it be?
Oh,
That's hard, huh?
that is. I mean, it's tough because everyone played a big role in making this thing a full thing. You know.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, honestly,
I have my
your guys are gonna probably now. Now I'm judging this through all the universes, all the books,
universe.
all
The
the
universe, canon and non-canon.
Okay, not just the okay, good, okay,
Do it.
all right.
And if
So
you guys that are watching
He's gonna
don't
say
know,
pain.
you better check it out. You better learn.
that's right. You got to learn this stuff because there's so much message out there from this whole story of this beautiful
better.
thing. Yeah. Okay. Was he been painting while we've been on the? Okay. So, oh my gosh. Okay, man, I've got two of them juggling right now, and the it's gonna have to be Qui-Gon Jinn.
No!
I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, I'm sorry. Hey,
He's
don't
the
hate
worst
me.
Jedi. He's the worst Jedi.
I know, but honestly, I mean,
Truth will out.
my theory.
But he's not a Jedi, though.
But no, well, see, that's the thing. That's why
He's not a Jedi.
exactly he's more of in the middle.
Yeah.
And if you read the books and read the stories and all the stuff, he was almost the pendulum of everything. And that's my theory. I mean, he made decisions that changed the whole galaxy the way
Well,
everything.
yeah, if it wouldn't have been for Qui-Gon Jinn, yeah.
Oh my gosh,
He
it wouldn't. Right? If he didn't find Anakin, if he didn't, there's so many ifs. He didn't do things, and I looked at the ifs of if Yoda did it this way. I looked at the ifs if Lord Darth Plagueis did it this way, and it comes down to the way the bigger more ifs, the more majority of ifs come from Qui-Gon Jinn. I mean, it's just. What are you thinking? What are you thinking, Z? Come on now.
I'm gonna hit you with something that a lot of people don't really recognize.
Okay.
What if R2D2 was destroyed on that starship with the other droids?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so now you've really widened the variety.
Is the biggest hero in the entire Star Wars saga.
He had the most screenplay, definitely.
Yeah.
Think about every time that little robot did a twist of a dial or a knob, those people would be dead immediately.
So R2 is your favorite, Zero?
No, he's not my favorite. I'm just saying he's the true hero of Star Wars.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, honestly, it's a good way of looking at it.
Lord Sidious is the hero, dude.
Lord City.
Lord Sidious saved the galaxy. What the fuck
Come on, man.
The galaxy was taken over by like rebel scum and no, but I want to say who my favorite is. I know who my favorite is.
Okay.
What's yours?
You ready?
I'm ready.
Asajj Ventress.
Really?
Yeah.
Because you think she's hot.
Dude, she's awesome, dude. God. And then even if like you follow her story arc after, and she falls in love and she becomes kind of like she gets a yellow saber.
Quinlan Boss.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dooku sells her out, tries to kill her,
Right.
tries to get revenge and gets Savage Opress, and then Savage Opress sells her out and goes after them all. Asajj Ventress is awesome, dude.
Okay, so she's my favorite character with the most compassion in the whole. Her passion, her story was so sad. I mean, honestly, she was manipulated from the get-go. I mean, from the get-go. Oh, yeah. I mean, people can be feel bad about Anakin, all that stuff.
You got Mother Talzin.
Oh my gosh,
Sidious, Savage, all involved in her story arc, and Quinlan Voss.
Everyone has been involved, even after the fact. So, I like that. I like their story a lot.
But was she really manipulated though?
Was she really manipulated? Oh, I mean,
her Jedi master was murdered while she was still a Padawan, and that's when she went to the dark side. After that, she's got a really tragic story.
It's really tragic. Was she what?
Cujo said Ventress, and River said Chewbacca is his favorite.
What? Who's Quinlan's favorite? He's all quiet. Well, not quiet verbally, but he's.
Quinlan doesn't like Star Wars.
Oh, he doesn't.
No,
he's great.
I don't like the new 3 Star Wars. I think they're dumb.
Nobody likes the new Star Wars.
Oh, okay.
I like it. No, but of everything, man, Clone Wars and then the Old Republic.
Oh, I love
the
it.
Old Republic, man.
Oh yeah. Now that's if you'd ask me, do I prefer the New Republic, the old New Order, or whatever, Dark Order, the Old Republic? I go the Old Republic hands down. I mean,
Yeah, absolutely, dude.
yeah, it's just it was
Dude, even everybody was more powerful back then.
oh
I-
that's true. That's true.
Everybody.
The force was different there.
You
And
know, I
then
gotta say, I mean, is an unpopular opinion. I did like episode 7. I liked
Force Awakens.
where it could have possibly gone. I liked Rey's character initially. When I
okay.
realized she was a Mary Sue and that's how they wrote her, I lost hope and I was like, all right, that's it. It's the franchise is screwed up.
Hey.
You know. And then when Ryan Johnson got a hold of it, I was like, all right, it's over.
Now
But
look,
I really liked where they could have went with her, with Poe, with these whole new cast could have really, you know what I mean? Like just took it another level. But they
Oh, they could have really changed a ton of stuff. It was like the roots of a tree. They had so many options.
They should have went with Plagueis.
Right.
Snoke should have been Plagueis.
Yes. Hey.
God,
yes.
I
That
don't understand that.
and if you read the
The
book,
internet was like, please, and Disney was, no, he's nobody.
Yep.
The
Yep.
fuck?
I mean, they had it open there for. I mean,
Oh
Plague
my
was
God.
Plague was
We were ready to
into-
accept Plagueis, even
Right.
though he didn't look like a mule and nothing. We were ready to accept. And let me tell you something, Darth Jar Jar. I wished it.
Darth
I
Jar Jar.
would have loved it.
My favorite's probably Revan though, because I mean, dude's been around for like what 2,000 years or something
Oh
crazy.
my gosh,
He keeps
yeah.
bouncing back and forth.
Yeah, Revan is up there. He's really up there in the top 5 of mine too.
Yeah, he is cool.
Yeah.
John, really quick. I mean, I'm changing pace here. I apologize.
Yeah, no worries.
You travel around the country for your shows. Do you ever go out of the country?
You know, it's the cost of the shipping, the freight, and all that stuff, and then you've got customs to deal with. I can't do it. I'd love to do it. I mean, I can't. People have asked me to. They asked me to be a guest over in Saudi Arabia when Wizard World did a show over there. Yeah, Wizard World did a show in Saudi Arabia last year. Yeah, exactly, Quinlan. I was like, no, yeah, thank you though, but no.
Appreciate it, but not.
No, yeah.
Be a hard pass. That's crazy.
It was crazy.
What you were at Celebration 2017? What characters did you have there? What did you cosplay as?
I did Dark Deceptuous. I was that one, and then I did just a regular Sith acolyte from the game. One of my characters that I play as on the game. Yeah, it was fun stuff. Oh my gosh, people were like, "Oh, that's sick," that knew it. And I love going to Star Wars places because they recognize Star Wars. I wear this at a Florida show somewhere, just a random comic show. They're like, "Oh, that's just a Sith. That's just a Sith." You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, but you get the love when you go to Star Wars convention.
For sure.
The
I
appreciation.
get a lot of people ask me if I'm supposed to be Scorpion.
Yeah, hey, I know you do. I know you know exactly what I'm talking about.
But let me tell you something. Even though, and I've never worn a canon character. I don't have one. I've never, and like not even in anything, like not in DC, nothing. But man, I get a lot of pictures, a lot of that's cool, a lot of let me hold your saber, a lot in
Right.
that costume.
Well, I mean,
so I can only imagine, like,
yeah,
like
throw that picture up there if when the city
they've all seen my
don't
Sith. I show
see
my
it.
Sith.
Oh, they have. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's dude. My jaw dropped the first time you came around my booth.
Yeah,
You
that's how
were-
I met him. No, when I saw your booth, I was like, Old Republic everywhere. And I was like,
I know you stood. I mean, you were the 6 foot rule. Shit, you were 20 feet away, just looking at the booth, and I was like, dude, can you come closer? Can I get a picture of you? Because my Zoom doesn't go that far away. And
well, you know what it is? I didn't
what's
want to
it?
go over there because, like, you know how hard it is to move around in that thing. I mean, and it's like I don't want to go in
man.
there and start knocking shit over.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that is just I've never seen your creative that was just beautiful. In fact, I want to do a short film someday with a lot of original Sith and Jedi characters. I would just love to do an Old Republic themed short film, just something, maybe 20 minutes long, and kind of give a biography of some of our background of some of our own personal cosplays or original cosplays. You know what I'm saying? And I think people would appreciate that.
That's
Mine
actually
is,
people-
I'd watch it.
demonic.
definitely dig it. I mean, if you're doing fan films and stuff, That's always
Right.
it's always cool to have more story, more fluff, more more history.
Agreed.
So has Disney backed off on the whole fan film thing, or are they still acting like CBS with Star Trek?
They're still you can't. You got to be very
Nah,
careful.
yes, they did. They backed off because of what's his name, Dartooz or whatever.
Yeah,
was his
that
name.
dude. Yeah, that
They
dude that
backed
did
off.
that Vader one.
They
Yeah.
backed off on him. There was a big uproar because let me tell you
Oh yeah.
something. The rumor is that when Lucas sold it to Disney, he was like, "Leave the fans alone."
Right.
Yeah, I heard that.
That's the rumor. And then
Yep.
Disney was like, "K," which they haven't messed with any of the. They really haven't with any of the cosplay and the prop making, and they haven't. But at least that I'm aware of. So it looks like they kind of did. But when that dude made that video, they had a fit, and then they backed off.
Yeah, his quality of that video was so amazing. People didn't know if it was from Lucasfilm.
Well,
And
what
I
it
think-
was, it had so many views and it's monetized. They were trying to get the money from it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, they monetized it. He didn't have it monetized.
Yeah, I met him before. He's come to my booth, once or twice, and I didn't know who he was, but he was just talking to me about props, and I just, like anyone else, sure, I'll make props. I need money. You know what I mean? So unfortunately, I really wish I'd have known what his plans were, because those are things I personally would contribute and donate to, because I want to see these things actually come to life. So, I will eat the cost. I will eat the labor. I want to see, and it's not me just having my props on the set. It's just me seeing these things come to life. I'm a big supporter. You know what I mean? I want
Right. I mean, you want to be
happen.
part of something like that, because as it grows, if it does grow,
Right.
you had your
Right.
hand in it, even if it's like something you're not. Look, man, it's all about, like you said, it's about that passion you have for that
Right.
product. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I tell the guys all the time on Discord, like, when you make a YouTube channel, if you're just doing it for shits and gigs, great. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? It's all good. But if you're putting effort into it, you're changing your cameras when you can, you're getting your quality up, you're editing, and if you're doing all that stuff, that's your brand.
Right.
You have to
Right.
protect your brand. Bottom line, like, no one else is going to do it for you. You
Right.
have to ensure that your brand continues, because you're a creative. You're someone who's not just, hey, here I am, playing a video game, watch me, just talking gibberish. You're creating,
Right.
and
Yep.
it shows in the quality of your videos, the amount of videos you put out, or in your case, the quality of the product you create for people,
Right.
and for yourself. That's all about pushing your brand.
Right.
Cujo
and
said,
there's-
"I want a towel. What is that? Broadside suit."
Oh, a
And
towel broadside suit. It's a 40K suit.
Ooh,
those
yeah.
40K cosplays are expensive, man.
They're
Yeah.
massive.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
what it is.
And they're big, because everything in 40K
Yeah.
is big.
Oversized.
Well, it's like
Man, he said he
Halo.
wants
You
to
guys
take
see
over
the
the
Master Chief costumes? Those are
Yeah, I've
expensive.
seen those. Mhm.
yeah, they're amazing. They're amazing.
So, John, what's your favorite Star Wars film, hand down?
Ooh, I mean,
Movie?
film. Which one? Movie? What's that? Is there
Which
hate?
movie?
Oh, which movie? Okay. Oh man. Okay, so
Rogue One.
gosh, that's up there. Thanks for
It
reminding
is.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Oh,
Solo and Rogue One.
Rogue One was good.
Extension. Yeah, it was really, really good. Really good. I mean,
Yeah, I was surprised with Rogue One. I got to say,
I was-
I
me
didn't.
too.
I went in there
You know
not
who did it though?
expecting a lot.
Chirrut.
who?
Chirrut.
Chiro?
Donnie Yen.
Okay.
Donnie Yen.
Donnie Yen.
Oh yeah. I'm a big fan.
One
big
with the
follower of
Force.
Documentary.
Yeah.
I got a
Um,
picture of a guy who did a cosplay of him. I was like, dude, is that Donnie Yen? I was like,
Yeah.
is this Donnie Yen? And it's
Yeah.
not. Listen, it's not one of those. This is not one of those. All the Chinese people look alike shit. This motherfucker looked like Donnie Yen. I was like,
Wow.
"Is it Donnie Yen? I was like, come on, tell me the truth. He's like, no. It's like, all right.
That's
Okay.
funny.
I was like, I see you, Donnie Yen. All right.
Yeah.
A lot of that's makeup too. I've seen a bunch of people that in real life look like me or whatever, right? And then in cosplay, they look exactly like Donnie Yen or whoever the hell else because of makeup.
That's awesome. That's
So what's your
awesome.
favorite
What's your
movie?
favorite movie?
Okay, so I'm Rogue One is it's gonna be Rogue One, and but gee, I can't. You said movie, so it's singular. So it's either that and the very last one. The very
like
last one. Yeah.
Last Jedi?
Okay, so the reason why I like the very last is episode 9.
I have a theory.
The reason why is because they brought out and opened up and revealed stuff they said that it wasn't going to be canon, and they made it canon. Like
the big Sith gathering and
yes,
acolytes. Yeah. I
yes,
knew you were gonna. I knew that's where you were
yes.
going.
The
You know, I had a
Sith
feeling
ship,
you were going to
the-
say that because
Yeah,
that's one of
yeah.
the things
y'all
that they
don't
never
know.
touched
We
on.
used to have academies and shit.
Yes, yes, and
Y'all
then
don't know.
you know the world that the Sith world, the what's it called again? I forgot.
Korriban?
No, that's the others. The Sith world in episode 9.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I don't remember that.
I can't. It's on the top of my head, but you know, and then with Rey walking through that temple, you know, it's like, or when Kylo goes to the temple and he's walking under this. Now, honestly, would you walk under that big temple? It's the pyramid that's floating.
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying? I don't
I
care.
saw that. I was like, what?
But they're used to seeing anti-gravity and shit too.
You know
though.
what I'm saying? But yeah, but what if the gravity switches all of a sudden? It's just
He could probably hold it.
okay. Yeah. Oh, that's
What if
right. You got
Palpatine
big
was
chest
like,
muscles.
yeah,
Quinlan.
you're
Yeah, I
done.
forgot the big chest muscles he's got. That's funny.
He's another one. I think Kylo Ren could have been so good.
Oh, totally. Oh,
He's
I
totally.
actually liked that Kylo was a whiny little kid and just like smashing shit. I thought that was great.
My biggest thing is why would they get rid of the Sith and then not tell us who the Knights of Ren are?
Yeah, you know, okay, so that's probably honestly that's the only thing I dislike about the whole episode 9 is that the Knights of Ren, when you did see them in action,
Yeah.
they got killed by their own master.
Yeah.
Okay, they have and if you read the books, the Knights of Ren were feared. I mean, they were like the Inquisitors, you know, that the Emperor had. They were go out the wrath. They were the Emperor's wrath. And so, you know, when I didn't see that in the movie, and I was even hoping that they cut it out. So when I did buy the movie, the cut scenes, they took all that. I was hoping to see it. You know, I want to see some martial arts action. I want to see some flips, some cool ass techniques, because every warrior has their own signified kill move. You know what I mean? So I was hoping to see those things happen, and they didn't happen. So that's honestly.
Apparently, there was a lot of lore behind him too, and
Yeah, there is. There's some books out that show.
I mean, I get that they put all that stuff in the books because I know, but it's just like, man, then why put it in the movie?
Right? Why not put it in a movie? Yeah, I mean, it's like, okay, what are they? Okay, so yeah, that would be the only the thing I would totally disagree with how they did that.
I can
like
agree. Just watching the movie, and I'll be honest, I don't have a lot of history with the Knights of Ren and the stuff that were in the novels.
Okay.
Like the original canon novels. I don't have a lot of history with it, so I'm not going to pretend I do. But just given as a film watcher, you know, going in and experiencing the film for the first time,
Sure.
the discussion of the Knights in the second film was key to me. It was like, okay, we're getting a really good source of history here and a broader source of information for the Sith, right? Like we're learning more about them. They're not just the bad guys, right?
Right.
When we get to 9, here they are. Because I thought they were gone. Like, okay, well, they probably got disbanded or they probably got killed or whatever. Here comes episode 9. They're here. The Knights are here. I'm like, well, all right. We're going to see some cool shit or learn some cool shit. Nothing happened with these characters until the very end where they die. And I was like, what was the point of putting those guys in there? It's almost like Snoke. You know what I mean? In the second film, it was like why did you put him in here? Why couldn't he just be a hologram? He didn't need to be. There was no need for his presence in the film at all, in my opinion. I mean,
I know how I translated that was the dark side has things abilities that seem unnatural to people,
right.
And I think
Jedi.
Right, and they wanted to prove that and show that okay, Darth Plagueis. If you did read the books, Plagueis was doing the same thing that. He created images and beings. I mean, the rumor is he created Anakin. Right. Darth Plagueis created Anakin.
It used to be canon.
Right.
Yeah, I was going to say that was canon before the midichlorian manipulation and stuff.
Right.
And they touched on it in
I think it still is canon, huh?
Didn't they? Yeah, I think. Well, hang on. Didn't they touch on it in episode 3?
I think there's something. No, I think there's something in the book that recanonized it or something. I think so.
Oh,
because I know
that Plagueis did the whole birth thing, and
and
that it was meant to be a body, that he did it
They did
And
the whole
then-
subtle hint in 3 where he was like he could manipulate metachlorians and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He was
Right.
so powerful.
Plagueis is
They
canon.
touched on what he could do.
Right.
So you assume, like, you just put the picture together and say, okay,
No,
that's
I
where
think there's
Anakin
something
came
in the
from
book
because
that Sidious wanted Anakin as a body.
okay. Oh, it's a
Yes,
host for-
you're
okay.
right.
So in the grand
His-
scheme of things, yeah, okay, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I
That
think
makes
there's
Yeah.
something that Sidious wanted Anakin as a body, and that once Anakin lost his arms and legs, he couldn't force lightning anymore, and that's why Sidious hated him so much. It's either
Right.
books or comics or something. It's something like that.
And see, I think Plagueis was going to actually, his intent was to grab Anakin, and his intent before Qui-Gon grabbed Anakin was to grab Anakin and use him as a test subject. Okay, so I created this, and how did I create it? And kind of reverse psychology, dissect Anakin.
like reverse engineer it.
Yep, exactly. And dissect Anakin so he can learn how to do more of this, And I think that's what Plagueis' view was, because when he talked in the books or in the, that you listen to, that I listened to, Plagueis was talking to Sidious, and he says the boy has already created waves through the Force, by winning the Bunta Eves, the thing
Race. Yeah.
in this conversation, and so that's why he sent, he said, we've got to get this boy, capture him. And it's just amazing what Plagueis was going to do with this whole thing. Like I said, he was like next to Qui-Gon on this thing. It was him and Qui-Gon with a pendulum of how all this stuff started, but yeah, so.
Wow. So let me ask you something on the business, on your personal business with
Sure.
the props and everything like that. What got you started? What was the
Oh,
motivation?
yeah.
I think Zero stole all my questions.
Yeah, I thought you guys were working together here.
I'm on it.
Well, actually, I did send him a copy. I sent you a copy, and I sent him one.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yeah. So I had some time to think about it, and it would have had to started. Okay, so I'm almost 50 now, unfortunately.
Nothing wrong with
God,
that.
really?
Yeah. I was maybe 10 years old, and I'm 6'6". If you guys have not seen me in real life,
You're a giant.
I told him
Okay.
John's a giant.
Okay, so one of the things about growing up is doing Halloween, because it seems like the only time you can really get dressed up.
Right.
I couldn't go to stores and buy costumes for Halloween, so I had to make my own costumes.
That's cool.
Right? Because it was like, okay, if I put on a costume, it was like 8 inches off my ankle, and it
Right.
just it looked silly. So I was like, right, yeah, exactly, yeah. So yeah, exactly. You could have hit that on the money right there, because I honestly, yeah, I had a big head, skinny body. You know what I mean? It was just one of those things where my body was fully mature. So I created a Superman costume for myself. My brother, I made him Batman, and my other brother did Aquaman. And so I was taping cardboard to Aquaman's calves. I was, I was taking pillowcases and cutting them in half so I could put,
And your
whatever.
parents were cool with all this?
Dude, I got in trouble. I did get in trouble for it. However, it was just one of those things that, hey, we're gonna just do it, and we did it, and it was just so fun. And then that was my first thing on costumes. But what I realized that I had a gift of creating something was we couldn't afford a lot of toys when I was growing up, also. So I had these GI Joes that I really wanted to make this base. So I did a dollhouse. I said, why can't I just take a dollhouse idea and create a GI Joe fortress? So I took a wardrobe box, cut it in half, and hinged it to where it opened up, and actually taped and glued levels on my wardrobe box. So this was a building, according to my GI Joes. You probably can get that idea with your creative idea. I actually put a jail cell in one set. I put a place where I could fly my Cobra Striker on top, a Halo pad. I mean, I took a wardrobe box and reconstructed it into like a fortress.
How old were you?
I was 10, 11, 12 years old. I mean, honestly, I didn't stop playing with toys until I was 18. I mean,
I never stopped.
I was about to say I did not stop.
You
I
know,
never stop.
I mean, I was, and I did have, we were in Navy, so I was always traveling all the time. So I moved to a place and didn't have friends off the get go, but I just grabbed my toys and talked to myself, and I played both sides of the,
You see, hate. I'm not the only one that talks to my toys.
Not Zero talks to his toys, bro.
Put a third voice in it, or second person in one of them.
Zero looks at him and Zero says, "Oh yeah, it looks like his little arm moves and his little arm does this, and then look, let's put his little helmet on. It's like Bob Ross or something."
Come here, Tila. Come here, Tila. That's how I learned my game right there.
Don't judge me.
I use 40K. I don't know if y'all see that, but I got them helmets up there he makes.
Yeah, those are beautiful. And so, yeah.
Still like they work better.
So when the business idea came along, was it just natural for you? It's like, I do it anyway, might as well get paid for it.
So I actually, the way the world, or the way the path I took was, I became a mover. I was moving furniture. I drove trucks over the road.
Okay.
So I did a lot of traveling. And then I got to the point where I started my own moving company, had my own trucks, 14 years in it. I was like, you know what? I went to my first Comic-Con, and I was just walking around this thing, and I had a
in costume or what?
No, I made a Captain America shield, and people were like, "Whoa, where'd you get that?" And I was dressed up as Isaiah Bradley, which he had his own book called Truth, and I love that book, and I met the author. It's where real quick, super soldier serum was tested on black men, like the Tuskegee experiment.
Yep.
Before it was tested, and one of them, out of all the 9 or 10 subjects or whatever they did, one lived, and his name was Isaiah Bradley. And I loved this character's backstory, so I went ahead and created that costume for myself. And maybe 2 out of 1,000 people realized that I was Isaiah Bradley. The other 2, you're Captain America, which I still love. You know what I mean?
Right,
I love the fact that people still call me Captain America. But so getting back to the business start point, people said, I want that shield. And I was like, oh, well, I made it. I guess I can make you another one. So I made one, and then people were like telling other friends where you got the shield from. And then all of a sudden it became a chain reaction where I had 10 people I was doing commissions for. And I said, wow, this is good money. You know what I mean? So then I did a Thor helmet, and then I did an Iron Man helmet. And then I was just, all of a sudden, I was a friend of mine at one of the shows was like, dude, you have a gift. You need to can I put a couple of your props on my booth? So I was like, yeah. And then sold out. I wasn't bringing that much inventory. And then at one show I was at, the first show, Disney contributed, or they commissioned me to make a couple shields for their Captain America display.
Oh, wow.
And I was and here I thought the conversation was going, hey, you can't make Captain America shields and sell them because, they're our baby, our licensed piece. No, they actually hired me to make their 2 shields for the display in Florida, and one of the displays out in California. So
1 second, John. 1 second.
Go for it. Yeah.
Hey, are those his? Those helmets on the screen right now?
Yeah,
those are mine.
Those are yours?
Yes.
Dude,
John's a beast.
Dude.
I told you John's a beast.
Okay, listen.
Listen. You.
We're gonna talk.
Okay.
Go ahead and finish your statement, because I gotta talk to you about something.
Yeah. And I just went from there. I said, okay, I did this for Disney, and I just felt like I was needed to create more. And so I went ahead and started getting my own booths, and I was trying to juggle both at the same time, my moving company and my, and so things happened. Clinton was in office. I don't know, some shit happened. So just small businesses were getting the shit of things. So I just got tired of it. I got tired of dealing with employees. So I said, I'm going to start just working for myself. And that's honestly, I took the leap on faith and just went out and started building my own props and doing my own shows. Wow. And it started out slow. I mean, it's like, okay, I went from X amount of dollars per year, and now I'm down to X, Z amount of dollars a year. And I was like, you know what? But I'm doing what I love doing.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, and that's all the passion I needed.
In this day and age, that's a gift, man. That's a blessing to be able
It's a dream.
to sustain and keep your dream going like that. Yeah, and your
Not-
passion, because I mean, like you said, you're not working.
No,
You're having a
no.
good time
Yes,
and
yes.
getting paid. Holy shit, dude, that is so awesome.
I appreciate
John,
that.
I want to
So
show you something I know, but
So here's
you
my
might
question.
know who this is.
Here's my next question, John.
What the heck is that, man?
It's a Kasha dude.
Is that a blow up? Oh, okay. I had to get the picture. It looked like a blow up doll on the.
Well,
on
yeah.
You're killing
Let
me.
me tell you something. Look, I put that up on God, I think it was on Twitter or something, and somebody was like, "Akasha's black." I'm like, "It's a dummy, dude. I'm just using it for."
yeah.
Bro, I thought that was a real person at first.
Yeah, that's sick, man. Did you do that?
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome, dude. I just,
I sold that.
You should have. You
I
know.
sold it, yeah. Well, it was a commission. I sold it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
That's pretty cool. See, now when you showed me that picture, I thought that was his work. That's you,
No,
dude.
no.
Yeah.
I sent it to
Mr.
you because I wanted to
listen,
show you my views.
Mr. Humble
on it,
over
'cause-
here.
'cause, man, I'm thinking. I don't know. I might start doing cosplay.
You should. If
Why
you're getting to
not?
that level, dude,
I like
do it.
doing it. It's man, it takes John. It takes a long time.
Well, so okay, so honestly, it's all about just using your time wisely. So we all have paradigms that we do, regular routines that we do every day.
Yep.
And if you can start out with, don't try to jump into it. Just you can start out with one step towards whatever goal you want daily, and eventually it'll turn into 2 steps. And eventually you'll be like, you look back and like, oh shit, I just went a mile. You know what I mean? I'm a mile into whatever I thought of.
Huh.
And that's honestly, when people ask me, and I get a lot of times everywhere I go, people's like, how are you doing this? How come you're this and you're a one-man show and you've got so much product? It says, well, because I have trained myself. It's like a muscle. You just start with one bite and eventually the pizza's gone. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
a lot of it too is once you figure out how to make the piece,
Okay, so
the second time it's easier.
you'd be surprised how quick how the world now is set up for businesses. Anybody can run a business. All right, have you been on Thingiverse? Have you heard of Thingiverse?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
these guys
Okay.
use it all the time.
Yeah, we're nerds.
Okay. Now you can. I was just talking to another guy about that, and there's another guy that I know that started a business, and he's using a lot of files that are out there, and he started his own prop making business. And I'm like, dude, I didn't even think about that, but that's pretty awesome.
One of my buddies does 3D printed lightsaber hilts and
Yeah.
helmets and those. And he does the same thing. He gets the files off Thingiverse or whatever.
Right.
And he
Right.
just prints them out. I mean,
And he's putting them out there, and he's happy because the customer's happy, and people are looking at his stuff, and he's like, dude, thank you for offering this. I need this. You know what I mean? So it's like just
You got to be careful with that, though.
being that contribution. Well, see, you got to get
that's
permission from the creators of the file, yeah. And so that's a huge thing. You want to give
Well,
props.
a lot of them dudes, if you give them props, they're like, yeah.
Oh yeah, you put their name out there, say, hey, file was drawn up by such and such, and they're like, oh yeah, and
9 times out of 10, man, that's all it takes is just
That's it.
word
Yeah.
of mouth, sharing.
Well, that's the
sharing
difference
information.
between stealing someone's. Yeah, I mean, it's a big difference.
That's the
Exactly.
thing with my stuff. If you look at any of my files, every single one of them is listed non-commercial, no derivatives. So basically, you can print it, but that's all you can do with it. I don't
Right.
honestly care if people want to turn my stuff into props or whatever. I don't want China stealing it and putting the crap on Etsy or eBay. So
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So Q about that thing. I don't think we can prevent that.
Well, the thing is, if I have it marked, no
Yeah.
derivatives, no commercial, then I can contact eBay and be like, hey, take that crap down.
Yeah.
Nah,
you
they
can
tried
do that.
that.
You can do that, but China's still gonna.
It's a pain in the ass.
They're gonna put it
You
on
need
the
another
Chinese
store.
eBay and do it. I
Yeah.
mean, that's, unfortunately, I don't know how many times my stuff has been called up. Hey, dude, this is yours. I'm like, yeah, it is. But China's selling. I was like, yeah, fuck, I don't give a shit.
If you
I
don't
can't-
mind me asking, John, where
Yeah,
are you
go for it.
located? What's your general? Where you at? Statewide, citywide?
You believe it or not, I'm in Kansas.
Okay.
I am in Kansas.
So
Yeah.
but you're U.S. You're not that far out. Kansas is it's not
No,
that far.
yeah, I think I can get in the car and be in New Orleans. Is everyone here in New Orleans or
No.
Louisiana?
No, no,
just
just
hate.
me. Look,
I'm in Chicago
Oh,
and Quinn.
Montana?
Where are you at?
Montana?
oh, okay.
We're from
Hey,
everywhere, dude.
hey, you're in New Orleans, right?
I'm near.
Near,
About 10,
okay.
15 minutes near.
So
Okay.
I'm gonna segue into another question about the business.
Okay.
You got an Instagram. You've got Facebook, right?
Right.
Do you want
You
to put
don't.
your Facebook out, John?
He said
Yeah.
it. Yeah, he said it earlier. It
Oh,
was
he said it's John Clark.
yeah. Was it?
It's Galaxy Props or Galaxy Creation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like Clark _ JC Galaxy Props and Galaxy Creators, right? Creations.
Yep.
Okay. Do you or would you be willing to partner with a YouTube channel to spotlight your props?
Partner with the YouTube channel. If are you speaking because you are the YouTube channel Zero?
Sure.
Okay. I know you, and yes, because we've had this experience. Yes, I would totally do that. I get offers from just random people. I'm like, I don't even know what you do, what you sell, what you promote. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I don't want to put my name on something that's
Absolutely.
You
There you
know,
go. See, guys, that's
total
what I've been saying. Protect
negative.
your brand.
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
gotta protect. He's not being a dick. He's protecting his integrity and his property.
Right.
And I get it. I respect that. And I do unboxings, reviews, things like that. And I have a ton of hobbies. So Star Wars,
Sweet.
Warhammer, D&D,
Sweet.
Gundam, everything. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So
Yeah. Sweet.
I would love to see. And I don't need the props. I don't. It's not one of those. Oh, I want to send me everything and I keep it. No,
Sure.
I'll send it right back. It doesn't matter. But I would love to feature some of your stuff. That's beautiful.
Appreciate
work.
that.
Just
Yeah,
beautiful
Zero.
work.
I'd be honored, man. I appreciate that. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Cool.
I
Yeah.
told y'all John was cool. Cool AF.
Well, he needs to get on our Discord so we can keep in touch with him, man.
Yeah. I totally love
I'm
it,
gonna
guys.
try to get him on. I know John's a busy dude, bro.
Yeah,
I
for
know
sure.
he is.
And listen, I
Yeah.
understand. And what you do is not. It's not part
It's
time.
like sometimes we
So
chat
I
on
get it.
Facebook, and I gotta be like, because me and we'll start texting, and it'll just turn into like, yeah.
So
Right.
it's
Yeah.
just-
No kidding. Yeah. But
It's just like, all right, we gotta stop. We gotta stop.
when I know Hate's done with the conversation, you don't hear back from him at all. You're like, okay.
if it's okay with you, John, if I get your information from Hate, then I'll contact you outside of here and
Absolutely.
work out whatever
Z.
details is possible.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's awesome. That is so
That's
awesome.
awesome. Yeah. I hope this really helps, guys. I really want. You guys were cool too, and I mean, honestly, if you can send me a link or something, I can post this on my pages so that people can, be aware that you guys are out there. And a lot of my customers needed to hear me talk. And honestly, I get a lot of stuff from people. Hey, why aren't you doing, YouTube how-to tutorials? Why are you, why are you not?
John, if you would love to, we can get you on more often.
Oh yeah.
I would love to do that. I mean, honestly,
Listen,
'cause,
if you got something you want to discuss,
right.
especially when it comes to your business and
Yeah.
how you handle things and what you're working on. Like, I mean, because we always do a plug at the end of the show. So trust me, we're gonna get you out there to plug everything you got coming up so that people can see, hey, we get these people to your information and get them to your social media so
Sure.
they can start spreading the word. Because believe me, I'm spreading the word, my dude.
I appreciate it, Brazil. I appreciate you big time, brother. Appreciate you. Hey, thank you very much for the opportunity. This was
thank you.
Good for me too, as well as hopefully it was good for you guys as well.
Oh, yeah.
I know John had a question he wanted to be asked.
What's that?
What does he love about Star Wars?
Oh, oh man. Okay, so what I love about Star Wars is the fact that this galactic universe is not this universe. Okay, so I love Star Wars because it can take me out of the real world and put me into a whole fantasy that is not dealing with all the shit that we've got going on in the media today, the news and the negativity. Honestly, I mean, oh man, Star Wars is like, okay, so, and because I'm a creator and artist, I am creating my fantasy and bringing it to life. So the reflection of my outer is what's in my inner. And so this is why I love about Star Wars is because, part of me feels like I'm there. Part of me, I am it. I am Star Wars. You get what I'm saying? So
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
like, yeah. So it's like, okay, so I will honestly, I have a definite chief aim, and we can talk about this in another show because I don't want to keep you guys.
No, you're good.
I'm going to open a museum, and It is going to be, yes, exactly, badass. It's going to have props galore. It's going to
No Jedi.
story. Yeah, it's got to have some of that. Dude. That'll be the part of the building you don't have to visit. Okay.
All right.
It's just going to be a picture of me. Go that way. You're lost.
Exactly. For the light side of the one half of the museum will be light side, the other half dark side. We know where hate's going to be at. Yeah, exactly. The kids will probably be on the light side, obviously.
Yeah.
So,
Ooh,
yeah.
my kids are apprentices. What you talking about?
Oh, listen, okay.
My little girl's my assassin. My wife's my apprentice, and my boys are bounty hunters.
And see, that's a whole story. That's a whole story itself. Families that do things like this together. You know what I mean? It's almost as if, I mean, honestly, there is no better parent out there that is doing stuff for their children in the same view, because kids can feel the energy of their parents. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I mean, and if you're in your element, like a dad or a mom, or you're in your element and you got your kids with you, they're that much, they feel that, they love that. You know what I mean? So, I mean, that's just I got 3 kids. I mean, and I really wish all this was 10, 15 years ago, because they would have been with me, just like Hate's got his family doing his thing, and I've got one of my daughters that they're, and I'm not going to say, should I say this word, nerd? Okay, she loves this stuff, and
nerd is a good word,
right? I mean, but you remember 30 years ago when we were growing up, it was
nerd was a bad word back then, and then we all grew up and we were like, "Oh, the nerds are rich."
Exactly.
Nerds are writing all the good movies.
Oh, the nerds are rich. We're idiots.
They're making all the cool shit.
Exactly. Oh, that's hilarious. That's true, though.
It's true.
It's true. So
I actually, I was doing a friend of mine a favor. He had printed out a 3D Baby Yoda head for a commission, and he needed it painted, and I painted it for him. And he had sent me the pictures, because I said, he's like, "What do you want for payment?" I said, "I just want the pictures. Once it's done and you got it all dressed up, send me pictures so I could put it on my Facebook page." And it was actually for a family. It was husband and wife and their little daughter. They were all Mandos.
Yeah.
Baby Yoda. And it was just a really cool thing to see the whole family get involved. You know what I'm saying? And this little tiny prop, this little thing, just pulled it all together for them.
Such a big impact. Exactly.
It's so cool.
I mean, and honestly, that's a big reason why I do this. Being a contribution to the world, the whole cosplay, the whole creative, the art world, the whatever you want to call it, is the reason why I get up in the morning. I mean, it's the reason. It's allowed me to sleep at night. The 5 hours I sleep at night. It's like that sense of completion. It's like, okay, I can sleep for 5 hours. Great. Because that's when my mind's like, I need to build this now. I need to build this now. You know what I mean? So I
have an idea for this or that. Yep.
Exactly. I mean, honestly, I think retirement to me, and honestly, if I ever stop doing this, it'll be the museum, but I'm going to also start gaming. I want to get back to board gaming again. I miss D&D. Yes, I miss that, man. Gosh, I miss that big time. So you guys playing D&D or anything? Or
yes.
Yeah.
We've been kicking around that
we're trying to get a group for this group. We all play individually. Game. Everybody plays individually on their own, but I think we're trying to get something online on the Discord so that we can all play together.
Heck yeah.
Zero's going to DM for us.
Do it.
I got you.
Do it, dude. Yes, I want to see this. I record this so I can see this. That'd be
really like.
No, we would live stream it.
I would love that.
Yeah,
that would be
what
cool.
I would really like to do is get the core group, the U.S. group, because we got guys in Australia, we got guys in Canada, really good guys. But it's to travel here is a pain
time zones.
But I would love to get the U.S. people together at a convention, and just to shake hands with you guys. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, man, that's just a huge problem for me because all the PAX East stuff is like 1,500 miles away, and then the PAX West is down in Southern California, which is just as bad. I'm so far from everything.
But that's okay, man. We figure it out.
Right? Yeah, that's something to figure out.
Dude, we gotta come to you. You know what I'm saying? Once there's all this drama is all done, we'll come to you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? We'll come there and we'll set up a gaming weekend and just bother the hell out of each other for the weekend.
There we go. There it is.
I'm gonna do all the bothering. I'm just letting y'all know. If y'all think y'all gonna bother me, y'all got the world crossed.
Hey, real quick, Miller, are you still here?
I don't know if he's here. I don't see
I
him
don't
in
think
there.
so. It's already whenever you gotta go, John. You just you hang up on
You
me.
let us. You let us know.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm trying to
for
think.
sure.
I gotta get to the post office. I know
Well,
that for a
is
fact.
there-
Get a couple
before-
orders out.
Before you do go,
Yes,
I
sir.
want to again. I heartfelt thank you for coming on. I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate you giving us that insight, man. Because
Oh no, my
I've
pleasure.
always been intrigued with cosplay, and I've always been intrigued with the level to which you're at in cosplay. Like, costumes is one thing, but where you guys are at, where you and Hate are at, you guys are on a different tier. You know what I'm saying? And
I appreciate that.
You just look at it and like, damn, how did they do it?
That's love right there. I love it. I love
Just
it.
how did you do it? Those helmets are just blowing my fucking mind.
Wait till you guys see what I'm working on. Next time we do this, I'm just gonna
say, if you take the opportunity really quick to just kind of throw out there what you're going to be working on, what you got coming up, any little, if you don't want to drop
Oh
any
no, yeah,
teasers
I'm
or
okay
whatever,
with that. Yeah,
go for it, man.
Okay, so I'm building an astromech droid, which is from Star Wars: The Old Republic, and he is about 98% finished.
Oh.
So it's a T7 droid. It's a Jedi droid, Hate. So don't beat me up on it.
But what about let's next topic.
Oh, so the Sith droid is going to be 5 times larger. Believe that.
All right.
So and then what else am I working on? I'm going to start doing some motivational Sith Chronicle like a podcast or a YouTube channel or something. It's going to talk about the Sith. It's going to be like Holocron. It's going to be something like, and I'm still in the process of works on it. It's going to take stories from a Holocron, stories from a Sith perspective on how things are going in the Old Republic views, and try to implement the real world things, positive things on why the Sith do the things they do, and what they get out of doing the things they do, and just kind of a data log, kind of like that. And it's going to have cool props. It's going to have background with stuff, and I'm going to be in costume, and I'm going to just talk about stuff, and hopefully right. So that's going to be a start. So
that's pretty cool.
Appreciate that.
Might bring me over to the dark side.
There you go. We need to change him up. Hey, come on now.
Who? Zero's got it in him, bro. He's got it in him. He just,
that's what I'm talking about. Gosh, we can get it.
That's why I always pick
purple.
The
thing is, though, bro, is you look at Jedi. You look at Jedi, and then it's just every time I look at a Jedi, I'm like, they need more. That's why I like Ahsoka, because Ahsoka has something to her.
Right.
She has something else to her. She's not just she's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, but you look at Luke, and I'm sorry, Luke just doesn't look cool.
Even I like Quinlan Voss because
he looks cool.
Quinlan Voss and Mace Windu are always skating the line.
The dreadlocks, the face paint, he looks cool.
Right.
I like that Mace Windu skates the line. That's why I go with purple on my sabers.
Yeah.
And look, I don't like Jedi, but Mace,
got the best.
Yoda, and Ahsoka. That's about it.
That's the real question right there, Hate. Which Jedi which somewhat or close to Jedi you do like? I mean,
if I have to tell you absolute which is my favorite Jedi, it has to be Yoda.
Yeah, I
It's because I value wisdom, and Yoda is the embodiment of wisdom.
That's true.
I think Kenobi was very close to that. I think he was getting to that point.
Kenobi's a punk.
Think about it. I mean, just look at where he came. I mean, look at all the stuff that he has done.
I don't like Kenobi.
First 6 films. He did a lot in those first 6 films. And think about it. His value in the first film, in the original 4, he's completely wiped out, but he still had value. He still kept Luke on the straight and
narrow. You know what it was that threw me off about Kenobi?
In
episode 1, 2, and 3? This
2?
His stupid battle stance.
Oh, the stance?
His stupid battle stance.
Yeah. That was kind of weird.
I can't stand it. I'm like, you know what he reminds me of? He reminds me of Homie the Clown.
Really?
He does, because he even says, I don't think so. Just like Homie the Clown used to say.
Ewan McGregor did a good job.
Man. I didn't like it.
Isn't there some lore to explain his stance, though?
Yes, it's actually form.
He's lame.
Actually a form 2 stance. And it's all based on martial arts and combat and stuff like that. But his stance was Form 2, which was really designed for defense. He was like the embodiment of defense. He never took an offensive stance. Like Anakin he was Form 3, and that was all offense and aggression. And, like controlled aggression, where Obi-Wan was more defensive, and that's why he was really
Until
good
he
at like
got pissed
blocking
off and killed them all.
pistols and stuff.
You don't want to acknowledge that what's his name? What's his name? Goddamn. Obi-Wan used the dark side.
Now
They all did.
here's the theory that now if you went to Obi-Wan, let's just say before he got with Vader, and you asked him, would you do it all over again? I mean, I personally don't think Obi-Wan would have actually done it the same way. I mean, I like the character of Obi-Wan, but you got to realize the life he's gone through too is just as bad as Ventress.
Yeah.
He gave up so much of his personal life. I mean, he had love with what's her name from the Mandalorian planet.
Oh,
you know,
God, what's her name?
Yeah,
Satine?
yes,
Duchess Satine. Yeah.
Duchess Satine. Yeah. And he fell in love with her, and he still loved her. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we know supposedly that's
And
not
Maul
the Jedi way.
Maul killed her.
And Maul killed her, which it made him realize where his strengths and weaknesses were. Now, if you ask him, would he have worked harder again if he had to do it over? I honestly believe Obi-Wan would have. I believe he'd have. Okay. I think he'd have.
I got a reason though. Go ahead.
Moved towards the dark side on that. I mean, I think he would have protected Duchess. I think he'd have been like the hell with Anakin. I mean, honestly, what? Go ahead. Hey.
Because I think Obi-Wan's always been about the will of the Force.
The will of the Force. Yeah, but that's the way he was trained, though. But then later on, I just felt a big switch with Obi-Wan. Later on, it was like, what did we do all this for? You know what I mean? What did we sacrifice all this for?
At the end of 3, I felt like his mindset changed to, am I doing the right thing?
Right.
Is this really what it's supposed to be?
Right.
In episode 3?
Yeah. I think like towards the end of that, you could see the shift in personality with him. He was like, just the fact that what Anakin was going through and seeing what Anakin was going through and all that stuff. I mean, I'm just going by the movies, but it just seemed like his personality shifted, knowing if this could happen to this child, what's the difference between him and I?
Right.
I trained him. Qui-Gon trained me. Dooku trained Qui-Gon. Like, what's the difference, right? Like, what are the principles we're holding on to? And I definitely think the whole fact that he had to do what he did to Anakin changed his perspective too. Made him go, hide out and hermit up and figure out his whole life choices. I mean, because he pretty much denounced the Jedi at that point.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I mean,
I don't.
He would have went out.
I mean, he was extremely disappointed in Anakin, and
right,
big time.
And he
even came out and
freaked
said,
out
I
about
love
the
you, man. I love
prophecy
you
and
like
all
a
that, and I
brother.
get that, but I mean, the prophecy was true. So,
but I mean, if you think about it, like he even admitted he loved Anakin. You know what I'm saying?
Like a brother.
Openly, like a brother, which Jedi aren't supposed to do.
Yeah, Jedi that's exactly right.
They're
That's
not
what I'm
supposed to
getting
do
at.
that.
Yeah.
Those attachments are just forbidden. So
Yeah.
for the fact that he even said, dude, I feel you. You know what I'm saying? Like that says, all right, he's already tapped into his emotions. And he was with Duchess Satine too. He just knew, okay, this is definitely a no-no. You know what I'm saying?
The person with the biggest commitment in all the galaxy was Obi-Wan. To me, Obi-Wan, he put so much of his personal life on the line and committed to this whole thing from beginning till the end. I mean, that alone just gives me the care and love for Obi-Wan, because he sacrificed so much. If you look at it from the beginning to the end of his personal life and all the things in love and all the people that are in his life, he could have said, fuck it, I could have walked away. I'm sorry for using that word.
No,
I'm sorry.
Right.
Buddy, okay. I haven't been cursing because you're on. Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, man, I apologize if I didn't.
Well, I was going to say, I would have liked Space Quinn do a lot more with a lot more
Thank you, Abby, because I think I cursed like 2 or 3 times, and I was like, oh, shit.
Oh, man, I'm sorry.
I'm over here like, blah, blah, blah.
I mean, Obi-Wan, if you go back to the beginning, and Qui-Gon trained him. I mean, come on. Qui-Gon Jinn trained Obi-Wan, and he would argue with Qui-Gon Jinn. He disagreed with Qui-Gon Jinn. But you know what the thing is?
Thing with Yoda and everybody else too.
Right.
So you could see like
right.
of dissension.
I mean, the potential of Obi-Wan being the most powerful person in the galaxy could have been, honestly, could have been there. If Qui-Gon would have lived, I mean,
yeah, I think.
Oh,
I think
man,
I don't know.
they would have joined Dooku. they'd have both joined Dooku. I
They
mean,
were friends. Yeah,
Qui-Gon would have joined Dooku, and
he was
they
friends with him.
started their own
And
Great Jedi Order.
Dooku actually believed in that shit.
He
Like,
did.
yeah, that's why he didn't go. Like, that's why he doesn't have Sith eyes. He actually believed in that shit.
Exactly.
Yeah, it wasn't just evil. Yeah.
He was more of us. Yeah, he is more us. He was no light. He was no dark. It was like, hey, look, you know,
He was a gray.
yeah, you're just
John,
that's
our buddy. He's a Dungeoneer too, Cujo.
Okay, hey Cujo,
Yes,
what's up, man?
Hey, what's up? Qui-Gon Cooge.
Yeah,
All about the grays.
Qui-Gon fan.
there you go. So yeah. So I think we'd have seen more of that, and I really wish that this Obi-Wan movie they're going to come out with is going to show all the sacrifices Obi-Wan has done, and has made him a recluse on Tatooine, and put him in hiding. We believe he was there to protect Luke. I mean, seriously,
Sure.
He left Luke. He put himself on the other side of Tatooine, and
made himself a crazy wizard in reputation.
hermit. Yes, exactly.
They all knew of him because, like, you talking about Ben, old Ben Kenobi, you know what I mean? But there was no relationship.
Sound
there.
drunk.
Yeah.
This guy.
Yeah, right.
Real quick, John, before I let you go,
Okay.
before you get away from me, I have a couple questions on costuming.
Okay.
Real quick. I have a buddy. We're a couple of friends of mine are talking about doing some Mando armor.
Okay.
Probably Mando Marvel crossover. Maybe.
Ooh. Okay.
What's the plastic that they're used? The foam plastic stuff that you can use. You can heat up and to make the armor panels. What's it called?
Styrene or Sintra? Yeah, Sintra or Styrene.
Sintra. That's it. Now,
Okay.
You can also use Warbler, John.
Warbler.
Okay. Now there's a higher risk of using Warbler. Okay, because if say you leave the armor in your car and it's 90 degrees outside, but in your car is like the Warbler is going to reshape itself in whatever you put it in. So be aware of that. Warbler is good, easy to use, but I mean honestly, you'll get a longer lasting with the Sintra or Styrene. Yeah.
Okay. Now, when you make your templates, let's say you're making a suit of Mando armor, right?
Okay.
Or at least the plates for the armor, the shoulders, the chest plate, and all that stuff.
Okay.
When you use a standard size guy, like let's say, what is a standard? Maybe 160, 170 pounds.
Lately, it's been bigger for me lately. People are about 200. I mean, honestly.
I weigh 200. Yeah.
That's what I was going to ask now. I have a guy he's a bit heavier side. He's a bigger boy, but I've seen armor on guys that are big that it's too small.
Okay.
So it ends up looking like a baby bib.
Okay.
No offense. It's just what it is because they're using a template probably, right? Like there's some kind of template that they're using to get their design from. Is there a way to what's the
dented helmet?
Is
no, that's the name of the site. The dented helmet.
Okay, because we're looking to get some bigger plates.
Okay, so just a garage for a garage builder like yourself or where you're working at. I would definitely get cardboard, or not. Get a box or else sheets of cardboard. Cut it out to the style you want. That's your template.
Okay.
Then get your sheets of Sintra. Trace it on there. Get you a really good jigsaw. Cut it out, and then find you a surface that you can actually heat with your heat gun, not applying direct heat on it. Overall, the whole piece of armor, keep that heat gun moving around there because you don't want to concentrate on one spot because bubbles and ruin it. And stuff. Right, and make it to where that piece just lays over, that contours that piece to whatever just designated, you want. Because I know being a rounder person or a bigger person with a different body shape, you can fill it out with the cardboard. You can okay, this will look good or this will not look good, or I'll have the bib look or I'll have the, the washed up look. Okay. It's all dimension. I mean, honestly, you can put armor on a black background and make it look just as good as a Playboy model or whatever. You know what I mean? It's just, it doesn't matter the size of the person. It's just symmetry. So, so I would definitely go for that. Use your cardboard first. You go get crazy with your cardboard paper. Hobby Lobby's got some. I just picked up a few sheets of it.
Another thing too, Zero, take your person, right? And you can use a shirt, or you can. There's even techniques where they use duct tape and saran wrap
Right.
to get the contour of the person.
Right?
Yeah. What's that?
For
Draw
what?
it on there?
To draw it on there, I wouldn't do that.
Not a t-shirt, like
Jerseys work
to
better.
make your template. To make your template.
yeah, like
no.
to make your template, you put the t-shirt on the person, then you can actually draw your panels.
No.
No? Okay.
No.
Wait. Wait. Why do you say that?
Yeah. Wait.
Why do you say that, Hate?
because it's not the same. It's floppy. That shirt's floppy, and you're not gonna. I mean, if you lay it out on a piece of cardboard and stretch it, it's still, that's not how it's gonna fit.
Okay, so hate. I agree, but I also halfway disagree. Okay, and the reason why a t-shirt to me is a good idea is because if you're wearing the t-shirt and you draw the pattern on your t-shirt, now this is Hate, where once you get that pattern on your t-shirt, Zero, you can cut out the panels. Now the panels aren't going to look, they're going to look like shit, but at least it'll give you the size of the armor plates that you want.
Right. That's what I was thinking, was the size.
Yeah,
Okay.
I used to make armor for SCA. We did the same thing, but we used a jersey.
Okay.
That's the thing too about John was saying, don't leave it in the car. If you're using PVC pipe or carbolic leather, the boiled wax leather, do not leave that in the car. You'll come back to soggy, wet leather.
Get yourself a cheap
like when we went to
Halloween
Florida, dude, it was
stormtrooper costume.
You what?
I'm telling you, a cheap Halloween stormtrooper costume. Put your templates on top of that. I'm telling you.
Yeah, well, that's another option. There's tons of ways of doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, you can get knee pads from like the dollar store. They got the hard cup on it, and those hard shells can be used as is. Really, I've done that before.
Right.
Okay.
And you know how I make my gauntlets? I take styrene, and we've got a vase here at the house. I'll cut the pattern out of cardboard, put it on the styrene, trace it, and then I will take my heat gun and lay it over the vase, and it'll actually give me the width of my wrist and my my forearm, and I can adjust it to the length. And then I put hinges on my gauntlets so that I can open and close them, and magnets or Velcro to lock them in place. The foam inside the gauntlets will actually keep it from sliding around versus not putting anything in there in your gauntlets at all. And Hate, you wear gauntlets with yours, don't you?
I have one gauntlet on my left arm.
Do you have problems with it sliding up and down or turning around on you? Or,
no.
Okay. You have Velcro on yours?
It's so tight. I mean, I'm damn near cut off circulation.
Oh,
yeah, that's the other thing. You gotta take into account if they're going to be wearing clothes, you're going to put padding, whatever under it. You got to oversize it.
Plus,
that's why I use a jersey.
My robe's a long sleeve, so it's like, I mean, that's my padding, and that's what holds the gauntlet in place as well.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, Z, if you have any problems or anything you want to ask me about, I have done this for so long. There's so many videos out there, and if you want to talk to somebody who's done it a few times, more than 100.
I mean, YouTube's
full. Glad wants to add something.
Well, I was just going to say, this gives me a great idea. If I was going to make a movie, I'd have a bunch of stormtroopers wearing bibs, and then it would solve everybody's problem. All those bib costumes would have somewhere to go.
That's what you have, Cujo. That's what you brought.
That's what I'm adding to this. I'm hearing it. I'm thinking, man, we just need a movie with wearing bibs, and they'll be like, "Oh, you're the bib stormtrooper."
No,
I mean,
that could start something huge there, Cujo. Bro. Come on, I mean, that's
we don't even have to modify. We don't have to size it. We just
Black
t-shirt, size fits all.
Black t-shirt, white bib.
If you plan on doing a movie, a fan film, or
heck film, yeah, I've got things on paper already.
Put me in it.
I'll fly out.
Absolutely, Hate. Absolutely, definitely. The magnitude would be as big as that Vader film that was out. That guy did that Vader
film. Hate in the background, and we'll just be slapping each other with sabers.
That's hilarious.
I'm okay with that.
I got a pike saber. You're losing.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
So is there anything else you want to go on ahead and plug, John, before we get wrapped up here?
No, guys, I appreciate everybody, and thank you again for the opportunity to be able to, talk to you guys about how I do things, why I do things.
Oh, it's awesome, dude.
What I, and all that good stuff. And if you, like you said, if you guys, I'd be honored if you guys want me to come back on again. This is been
I
great.
did have one question for you before you leave.
Yeah.
You were talking about getting into tabletop games and role-playing games and stuff, and I thought that was really cool. But have you looked into that Star Wars Legion?
I have seen. I went to what's it, Gen Con last year,
Oh, I love
and
Gen-Con.
they had I think they had the display of it, and it was just, I saw something on it. So no, I have not personally done any game roll top or anything, and that's one of the things I'm going to do when I,
Oh, definitely.
Actually, luck, John, because Cujo has a channel as well. It's called the Overboard DM, where he does everything overboard. He's going to do a whole series of videos
Oh shit!
on how to play Star Wars Legion
Oh,
and how to
sweet,
get started on a budget. So
sweet,
that's
Oh
awesome.
shit!
sweet, sweet. Well, hey,
I'm gonna
Cujo-
tell people
Cujo
how
has
to
no
shop on a
budget.
budget.
Yeah.
I teach people how to go buy everything. You
Oh,
know, you
okay.
need it all.
You do the same thing with your dungeon, your Dwarven Forge, and I think it's
Yeah,
great.
that's
I was
true.
just mentioning it earlier.
That's
You
true.
you do
That's
what you're
cool.
doing right now in that series is perfect. That's amazing, because that's what people need to hear. Not just it's great because it is cool, but how you can do it on a budget, and that's what you're
Yeah.
doing. I like.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
it's
love it.
videos that I wish I had when I was looking at stuff like
Exactly.
that. I'm like, I
Right.
want people to break it down and go, "Oh shit, I don't want that."
Right.
You
So
good,
I'm
Big
just-
John?
I'm good. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for
Thank
coming
you.
on again, man. I appreciate it.
Hey, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Yeah. Hey, keep in touch, you guys.
I'm
Zero-
getting a Majora's Mask from you, so
Yeah, and
yeah.
John, I will get in touch with Hate, get your information, and I'll contact you, either via Facebook or whatever, so we can work something out. And I
Awesome.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you guys.
Thank
I
you,
appreciate
John.
it. Yep. You too, guys. Have
Thanks,
fun.
John.
Keep
Take care.
killing
Yeah.
the Jedi.
Thank you. Keep safe.
Hey,
Later,
is
bud.
there,
Later.
hey, is there anything else that Quinn you wanted? Is there anything you got to plug, Quinn? Coming up.
No, the castle build's kind of going on hold for right now because real life demands scatter. So this bucket behind me is my bucket of crap I'll use one day. Well, I'm going to use it very soon here.
Very nice.
And then
Everybody's got buckets of crap.
Yeah.
Fuji, got anything coming up?
Me? Yeah, I was gonna do that miniature video on Hydra that I just got in.
Yeah. Nice.
I'm thinking about cutting this video to the part where we just get John in. What do you think, Zero?
We did the news, bro. Fucker.
No, I know, but
Now
so
people
what? We
watch
did it
this
live.
are gonna go.
No,
did they
because
cut
we did it
Did they
live.
cut the
yeah, but
beginning?
because we have 2 hours of show, we might as well just leave it 2 hours. Because then you're gonna cut it down to like an hour, and that's not, you know what I mean? Just leave it.
just leave it. I don't know if Miller's here, but this one's for you, Miller. Thanks for the idea.
Oh, that's so cool.
That is cool. Very cool.
That's what
Yeah,
happens
put
when you do gold spray paint, and then green wash, and then I use the airbrush to do brown wash over top of everything. To
How
make it gross.
how tall is that guy? He looks about okay. Yeah.
Do you have any? Do you have any mint green color?
Maybe I could make some.
If you make some mint green,
Oh yeah, I thought he was pretty big.
look, make some mint green and heavily dilute it till it's almost like a wash.
Oh yeah,
Wash-
to do
wash it over-
the
to do the lime.
corroded copper stuff.
Yep, it'll look dope.
Well, I was going for a gold statue that had been sitting there for 100 years, so it's supposed to be gold in
Gotcha.
this case.
I like it, man.
That looks
That's awesome.
I don't know where I got this model from,
where did
or
that
who
go?
I should say.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to. Is it 3D printed?
Somebody on the Facebook Tabletop 3D. I can never
Oh, I
remember.
remember.
the name.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. Yeah.
They posted it for free for Halloween. The print actually failed a couple times because the pumpkin was glued back on, and so I'm not good at printing.
Dude, where the fuck did hate go? So what was I gonna say? Damn it!
He's deleting the first half of the video already.
I wrote notes.
He wants to delete all that. All your hard work. No, delete that.
Fucker to work the first time. I'm never doing the news again. Fuck it.
Hey, I need to watch it. I missed the news. I was sleeping. I fell asleep on the couch last
There
night.
you go. That's what we got to tell him. So here he comes. Here he comes.
So yeah, Zero. I know you. I think it was you. Hate definitely hates this airbrush. But seriously, if you're just spraying like washes or something, this thing's awesome.
What is that?
It's an airbrush.
Oh yeah, I asked you about
No,
that
I know.
too.
What company is it?
This
one you had on the video.
Yeah, I had it in the video. I don't remember.
I know I asked about it because it was air compressorless, and I didn't know anybody that used one. To find out how good it is.
This thing here is the compressor.
Yeah,
that's
amazing.
Cool. That's pretty cool.
So,
does it have a lot of vibration?
Caca.
Not really, no.
Hey, we can't cut the show.
Es caca.
We can't cut the show. Hey, Cujo didn't see the first half.
So
I was sleeping.
That's his fucking problem.
No,
I need to know the news.
There's no.
I need to know.
You know what? Hey, not all of us can afford your
works so
$400
hard on the
airbrush,
news.
right?
swear to God, if you cut the damn news out, I will never do the news
He's
again.
cutting the newsman out.
Zero.
But we're keeping the weather in.
Because Zero. Why? Because Cujo was sleeping.
Yeah.
I don't even fucking like Cujo, man.
Cujo's family, bro.
Oh shit.
He's
Can
the
someone-
I mean, yeah, but I mean,
What do
you
you
don't
got
have
there?
to like your family.
What is that?
Can someone tell me why the hell I bought adhesive cork? I don't remember.
For bases?
Maybe?
Cork.
If it's adhesive, you probably bought it for bases, bro.
What the hell?
Send it.
Adhesive cork.
Send it
How
my
thick?
way.
How thick is it?
It just looks like
Oh, yeah,
thin cork.
You put
Very
up a
thin.
tack board?
Damn, where did he go now? He just left again.
I've got all kind of weird crap. I got
Can't
some
fuck this
vials.
thing.
He comes back more angry and angry every time he comes back.
It's pretty funny. Crappy little dragons.
Oh, there you go. Is it
Yeah,
from
okay.
the dollar store?
Yeah, I got it's most of the dollar store.
What was I gonna tell you?
I have no idea what all is in. I mean, I have some stuff in this box, like my Citadel skulls, but like I don't know what most of this stuff is. But this thing is worth every penny.
Oh yeah, I've only used a couple out of my box, but
You know, I've been meaning to get one of those. It just it kept going up, and it's probably the highest it's ever been right now for that damn
Really?
box.
Mine
Yeah.
was like $20.
Yeah,
did you
so
see
it's
the
like-
one with the vines and stuff in it?
Yeah.
Is that any good?
I
I
haven't
mean,
seen that.
if you're gonna use it for it, you know what I'm saying? It's you get enough to do a big piece of scenery, but not enough to do a lot. You know what I'm saying? I think the value is you get more value out of the skulls than you do out of the vines.
Yeah. He's more angry every time he comes back.
Where?
Now he's Jason. He's gonna kill us all.
What is up with that?
I'm sorry. I saw it and I had to put it on.
Oh, it's cool. Is that Jason or is that just a regular hockey mask?
No, it's Jason.
That's cool looking. So I just wanted to touch on something real quick. You guys don't know what today is.
Yeah.
What do you mean we
June.
don't know what today is?
You don't
Tuesday.
know. I'm gonna tell you what today is.
Okay.
It's June 2nd.
Yep.
It's my lungiversary.
Oh, congrats.
Nice. It's also my brother's
Awesome.
birthday.
Science is awesome, man.
Yeah, I just my 1 year today since my surgery.
Science is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody light up a smoke in Zero's honor.
Yeah.
That's just so mean.
Blow it. This
It's so mean.
I've never smoked in my life, so yeah, that'd be
good for you. Good for you.
a disaster to start on your anniversary.
Trust me, when I was going through all my testing, that was one of the biggest things, right? That you can't be a lifetime smoker. You can't. You're not going to qualify. You know what I mean? And I'm thankful that I didn't really get into smoking. You know, I tried cigarettes.
You know why? Why that makes you not qualify? That's what I don't
It's
get.
because your lungs are already damaged. It's
But they're taking them out.
doesn't matter.
You see,
Here's the thing.
There's this
What
thing
they're
with the
seeing-
medical system.
They don't
the
want you
medical
to ruin
system's
the next
The
set.
thing is, what they're seeing is you've been smoking all your life, so you obviously don't care. So why are they
But
going to give
that's
you a
not-
brand
so
new pair of
what?
lungs?
That
Why are they
doesn't
gonna
mean
give
you
a
don't
brand
care.
new- Well, it means that you're not going to take care of the next ones.
Yeah.
So what? If I'm paying for them?
You're not paying for it.
There is a point there.
I mean,
If you're gonna pay for them,
Yeah, so what?
I mean, if you're rich and you have the money, sure. I mean, I'm pretty sure they'll do
That's
whatever
crazy,
you want.
bro.
You know?
That's
But,
crazy. That's like, I mean, so we're going to start telling people, I'm sorry you're fat, you ate too much.
I
Have a heart
mean,
attack. No.
listen,
That's no.
I had to lose weight. in order to
That's
qualify,
crazy. And I knew it was something like that. I knew
I
it
had
was
to be
something like
under
that.
190 pounds to qualify for this stuff. Like there was a lot of requirements.
Okay.
I would
before
have died then. Even when I had 6-pack abs, I was 220. What the hell you want?
Just
Well,
smoke a little
they
crack.
took my size into consideration, right? Like they're, so there was that. But like I said, yeah, there's a whole bunch of crazy requirements that you have to follow.
Look at this
fill up,
guy.
in order to.
Just puffing out a cigarette. What the?
I see you, bro. I see you.
That's fucked up.
It is.
That's fucked up.
Oh
No, because
god.
I knew it was something like that. Because I'm like, I was thinking about that the other day, honestly, and I was like, I bet you there's some kind of thing like if you were smoking, they're like, no, we're not doing it. It's like nah, bro, that's crazy. That's crazy.
See, the thing is, somebody else had already
That's
solved
crazy.
it. They
So it's
figured
like,
out how to.
pick? But who gets to pick what bad choices that we're not going to fucking take care of? Who gets to pick?
I don't know. There was a whole
That's the
committee.
problem.
There was a whole committee that I had to
That's
see.
called a death panel.
I think Trump.
Yeah, and I had to go through.
Somebody solved the problem. They can clone your organ, so you're not going to reject it. It's your organ.
They
but-
can now, yeah.
But there's some kind of law against it.
Yeah, they're still going through the process now. They actually were talking to us about it when I was going through my testing, and they basically stripped the organ down to its DNA, like its core frame, and then they put your DNA in the organ, and then it becomes yours, and it's no longer rejected because it's actually your organ.
No. I'm talking about 100% lab grown your organ.
Yeah, it's supposed it's just a lot of laws in place right now to not let that happen.
Yeah,
So,
no money in it,
Yeah, exactly.
or not as much money.
So
I'm sorry.
I got a couple organs growing right here.
what? No, that's what they're talking about.
Just in
Your
case.
face is an organ.
Yeah, I'm growing a couple for you because you don't care.
That's not what we're talking about, Sean. We're not talking about that at all. So while you're trying to ear hustle, get it right.
What happened now? What happened? I can't because with Miss Zero. With Miss Zero, what happened?
No, she thought we were talking about
Gabby?
my lungs specifically, and I was I said this now. Anyways,
Hi, Miss Zero.
that's what today is, guys. Where are you going?
Away from you.
Oh, this mother.
See what you did?
This mother of my children.
Bye, Felicia. Love you. She gone. I can play longer.
He's
He
gone.
turned off his camera.
Dude, your boy John is awesome, dude.
I told you he was cool.
He is extremely chill. I like his whole vibe, dude. I like his whole mentality about his craft, dude. That's just awesome.
Oh yeah.
Very, very
I'm telling you,
cool.
when I first met John, it was like, because I mean, I made my costume myself, and I made it myself. So like I'm walking around, it's just the way the way he was like, dude, come here, let me take a picture with you, and like this is a dude that, this is what this dude does for a living, and he was like, let me take a picture with you, and all that. I mean, John's cool as fuck.
Yeah, mad respect, dude. Dude is cool. I would love if I could get my hands on some of his props to show them off on my channel, bro. Whew. That boy's gonna.
Speaking of that, Zero, you still never got your road roller.
I know, man. I gotta. Damn it,
I'm
There
gonna
it
get
is.
that Majora's Mask, I tell you now.
Quinn. How much is it?
I don't remember.
I think I still have your. I'm gonna check and see if I have your PayPal. If not, I'll message you and have you send me your PayPal.
Oh,
so
it's
I
in the
can-
PayPal. It's in your history.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, man.
So I'll just send it to you.
What's funny is I thought this was going to be too wide, and then I compared it to the wagon I made, and it's actually narrower than the wagon. So it should fit whatever build.
Yeah, because I still have some roads to make, but I also have a couple pieces of terrain that I'm still finishing that I would love to put some tracks on.
Let me grab a foam and I'll show you real quick.
So what do you got coming up, Pete? I missed the news.
Me, nothing.
Nothing.
I mean, like I said, I broke my printer and I was trying to fix it. I think I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna buy a new one.
What have you heard about the new 3D printers, like the ones you got that having like this new screen that's supposedly made for printers? It's not a cell phone screen that they stole. It's like the new.
I never heard about that.
Yeah, it's something new, and they're also like a lot bigger build plate and all this kind of stuff.
That might be the ones.
Look, Quinn's
Quinn was
rolling the
talking
thing.
about earlier.
Look, Quinn's rolling the thing.
I don't know what Quinn's rolling.
He's rolling it. Look, he made some
We're
roads.
on the blunt. That's nice. White, solid
See
white.
that?
And compared to your mini, I mean, it's
Yeah, that's perfect. Nice. Send it.
Send it.
who do you want me to shoot?
Hmm?
Well, he said send it. So who do you want me to shoot?
Oh, shoot Cujo.
Yeah.
He's got no armor.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
hey, I need that information, man. I need his info so I can talk to the guy.
I'm gonna invite John to the Discord. He'll join.
That'd be awesome.
He could definitely make a fire warrior helmet.
Oh,
That'd be
yeah,
pretty
that'd
sick.
be sick.
That'd be easy to do. I
Oh,
mean, not
Marine
easy,
helmet.
but
Lighting in
My
here.
mind. Yeah, that looks good, man. It looks about the right size. Nice.
I don't even think he didn't have this Asajj on there because I'm sure he's got more shit that's not even on his store. Man.
That chaplain helmet, if I could, if I pay for one, I'm gonna buy that one. I'll be dead honest, because that's just a
But
phenomenal
I
looking
guarantee
helmet.
that thing's gonna be around 3. I guarantee.
I think he said it wasn't finished yet, wasn't it?
Yeah,
No, he's still working on it, but that's
yeah,
gonna be
that's
around
like,
3 just
oh
because
my
of the
God,
size.
dude.
I can guarantee you.
beautiful though. It's beautiful. And it looks.
What's he
just
make him out of?
Resin. like,
EVA?
screwed on real
Yeah, he's-
professional
he's
products.
printing 'em?
No, it's real professional products. I think some things he prints and like my buckets, my Fed helmets. This Asajj helmet is printed, but some
What's
of
that
them.
one?
Diamond
What's
plate
one? Oh,
Oh, nice.
with the stuff that they make truck toolboxes out of.
so I think a lot of his stuff is like printed, 3D modeled, and then he'll get it and
Hold on,
maybe
I'll be right
he'll bondo on top of it and etc.
What do they do on the interior? Is it to make it comfortable to fit? I mean, I know, is it just some padding put in there?
Foam fit that, yeah. You do that.
Okay.
I mean, you could get it from him like that if you want, but that's expensive.
Yeah.
If you want it, like if it's just like with Dwarven Forge and everything else. If you want it foam fitted and you want it painted and all that, it costs more. If you want just it's cheaper if you just get the raw cast
Yeah.
and then you do it
It's
yourself.
better too. 'Cause I found when making armor panels and stuff, people wanted the raw armor. They didn't want straps on it, so they could put their own stuff to fit their body.
Yeah.
So
Or
the big trick to that, man, is leave when you build your shit, leave it long.
Yeah.
And when you put it on, then cut it. You put it on, you got it all suited and all that, and you feel and wear it for a little while, and then cut it.
Yeah.
Because like that whole what's her name? The vampire queen. What's her name? Queen of the damn Akasha. That whole thing, I built that straight on my mannequin for a customer, and then I didn't even size her. It wasn't until she got here and put it on that I cut the straps and everything to fit her.
Yeah, if I put any straps in the blades and stuff I made, I left them like belt length. They're stupid long because I didn't know who was going to be wearing it, what they got under it.
I've never cosplayed before, so
It's fun. It's fun. I can't even imagine what it's like to be like a Darth Vader or like I wouldn't want to be a stormtrooper, but like a Vader where all the kids recognize it and shit. Because the kids don't, the kids come up to me and they're like, "Who are you?" And I'm like, "I'm a Sith, dude. I'm a Sith."
Be the new Mando.
Yeah, well, or
So is he-
or-
is he out of the books then?
who?
The character that you are, was it
Me? No,
Talon?
he's made up. No, he's
Just made
not
up.
Talon.
Okay.
No, his name's Monnik. He's made up. Monnik is Dutch for priest.
Okay.
So like how Darth Vader is Dutch for father. So I went Darth Monnik, it's Darth Priest. So it's like, no, I got like a whole little dogmatic backstory behind him and all that. Like he's some kind of Pinhead. Like that's the whole thing that was in my mind was Pinhead and Darth Maul when I made him. And I know he looks like Scorpion. The whole reason I picked those colors though is because orange and copper is my favorite color. And I'm like, if I'm gonna make my own Sith, I'm going orange and copper. And plus Halloween's my thing.
All right. Well, I gotta get out of here, guys. So see you later.
Good luck.
All right, Quinn.
Good luck. We're over like 40 minutes.
Half hour, yeah, 40 minutes.
Yeah. It's Cujo's fault.
Yeah.
Cujo.
You gotta wake up earlier next time, dude.
I understand.
Yeah, I know.
You're too old for that shit.
I need to set an alarm. That would have been good.
I did.
I remembered that. Hey, you know what? Tuesday. Cool. Yeah, I'm off. Yeah, here I am sleeping away.
I woke up. God.
See you later.
7 later, buddy. I woke up
All right,
7:30, started fucking with this shit to set the streams up and get all the windows open that I needed open. Yeah. I'm cutting this. I don't care what Zero says.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cut it. No, I'm not gonna do that. I don't know. I'll talk to him.
He wrote a bunch of notes on the news.
Huh? No, I'm not gonna cut the news though.
Okay.
It's just John wants to share it. So, I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, I
He
got
brought
you.
up-
I got
He
you.
brought up the whole Floyd thing and all that. I mean, that don't bother me, but I know John don't like that.
You can yeah, I guess you could cut it in the
Yeah,
two
you can cut
videos.
a piece. No, I'll just cut that piece out.
Yeah.
I'll just cut that piece out, delete it, whatever. Who cares? And then yeah, just let it go. All right, what are you doing, dude? I broke my printer. I did these.
So what happened to it for real? Is it
I
screen?
don't fucking know.
Oh, it just stopped working
I
altogether?
turn it on. I go to print, and I hit print, and it's like, okay, bed warming. It goes up like maybe 4 degrees, and shuts off.
Mm.
And it's just out of nowhere. I don't know. And then so it's like, it's just like everything else, like with a computer. It's like, okay, well, it could be your power supply. It could be your main board. It could probably something's overheating, whether it be the power supply or the main board. I don't know. It could be a sensor that's bad.
But it kicks out that fast.
Yeah, it's only a few degrees. It's like 5 degrees, and it kicks off.
that-
And I tried the hot end and the bed. It doesn't matter which one it is. It overheats, which makes me think it's either a sensor or it's the main board or the PSU, or the power supply. And at this point, I'm just done with this printer, man.
Yeah. Has it paid for itself by now?
Huh? No, I swear I might have got like 100 hours of print time out that thing.
Oh,
Maybe,
no
which
way.
is that's nothing.
I know. I just watched a couple other videos. Some tabletop guys talking a bunch of stuff, and then they were talking about their 3D printers. And I was gonna send it to you and say, hey, have you ever seen? Just listen to not the whole thing, but just the segment they were talking about. And he talked about the whole taboo of it's a hobby, but
Oh, yeah.
it more than pays for itself. I mean, yeah, you're gonna have a failed print every once in a while, but that's only once in a while, and you're gonna learn.
I mean, and you're gonna get stuff. You're gonna get prints that fail and partially fail that can be salvaged. And no, yeah, it's a hobby. It's a hobby in and of itself. Maintaining your machine, everything.
Yeah, but he talked about because these guys were DMs and they also are into war gaming and they're into everything, kind of like us. And he said you cannot. What's the word I'm looking for?
The brain moment.
Yeah. Well, you can't substitute like you're a DM. My adventure tomorrow. It's Friday. Tomorrow's Saturday's. Everybody's coming over. I need 20 rats. I don't have 20 rats. Boom. I can have 20 rats Friday, paint them up, and have them on the table for Saturday if I want.
Yeah, if you can't. Yeah, you can. I think I saw that video.
You know what I'm saying? That's crazy that you can.
Yeah, well, it's on demand. You can get on demand parts. Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
3D printers
pending no failed prints.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's
Yeah.
unless you're having like an issue where I'm having when my printer's actually broken.
Yeah.
I mean, there's ways around failed prints. There's things you can do. You can fix them. I mean, it's just like what you did with the Beholder. You can take green stuff, milliput. You can fix stuff, add to it.
Yeah.
Hi.
What, Zero?
What? God.
Quinn hung
And
up
there
on
was
us.
on that particular show. There was how we're doing. We got 3, 4, 5 guys or whatever talking, and a podcast. And he had the one guy that reminded me of like a roll stats or somebody that's gonna go. You could just not use miniatures.
How about that?
And we were like,
That solves
"What?
everything,
Get out of
man.
here! What?"
I'll tell you what.
Guy?
There's a group on Twitch, all right, and they're kind of like us, but they've got a big following. It's just a bunch of, and they're Twitch gamers. And that's all they do. Is
Let's kill them.
They Twitch game and they jump on. They jump on streams. I believe it's once a week where it's like it's all of them and they all jump on there. Well, the core, and they all jump on there and talk about shit. So, I was watching. They were talking about that Twitch stuff with that chick. What's her name? Steph. I showed y'all the deer. She wants to be a deer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's how I found him, man.
Quinn's gone. He left. He's done.
Quinn hung up.
Okay.
So I'm cutting this, all right, Zero?
No,
Yeah.
don't do it.
I'm gonna cut out the protest part. I'll cut out the protest part and this end right here, which is kind of irrelevant because Cujo's in it and nobody.
Yeah, I don't want to be in the show. I just
I
wanted
know.
to talk.
Well, you're live now, though. I mean, so it's not like it's
Nobody's
happening.
watching me, right?
Nobody's,
Look.
nobody's watching.
Nobody's watching right now for sure.
No, I don't
No,
think so.
there's 4 of us, 4 people watching.
Yeah. They're not talking to me. You're all asses.
Well, Rivers said he had to go, so he's probably not watching.
Rivers is awesome though, so he's forgiven.
Yeah. I wanted to give advice if I could.
No.
No? Okay.
Okay.
Save it for next show.
No, go ahead.
To who? All of us?
We are over. So if you, I mean, it is.
To
Oh,
the
you can always
YouTubers.
go over it again next show.
To the YouTubers in our Discord.
Oh, okay.
Um,
But he's cutting this anyway, so.
No.
I mean, yeah, I'd probably go over. You know what? I'll write it down so I can go over it. Because here's the thing, it's not gonna be received well, and I'm gonna do my best to say it as nice as possible, but it probably won't be received well.
Oh
anyway,
God,
so.
I'm scared now.
He's got a boot.
I'm scared.
Yeah, I'm just listen.
I'm scared. I make caca.
No, you're good.
make
You guys
caca.
are good.
I
You
make
guys are
caca.
good. But yeah, anyway, I mean, whatever. I can do it next time. It's not a
Tell
big
us.
deal. We got
If
next
you
week.
start now, we'll go
You know-
over it again. You're the one
Okay,
that has a problem
basically,
with,
I mean,
with
look,
rehashing
listen.
topics. I don't.
And listen, I'm not a super professional by any means. I don't have like a bajillion viewers or whatever the fuck subscribers. I just have advice. I have advice for people, and this is a pet peeve of mine personally. But I have advice for people who are doing unboxings. Look, the point of an unboxing is to show your viewer the content of your package, right? Like whatever it is you're trying to show them. You know, it's to show them the content of the stuff. If
So you have
I'm
to cut
doing
the
an
box
unboxing,
open.
if I'm doing an unboxing and you don't see what I'm trying to show you, then it's not an unboxing. There's
Yeah.
no point in even going. If it's only 3 minutes and you have a box of stuff you want to show me and you only show me in 3 minutes, you didn't show me shit. I'm
Yeah.
not seeing anything, and there's no point in clicking on that video. I won't click on it.
Yeah,
especially
but
if
I think a
know-
lot of that too is people look at their watch times and they're like, oh, I only have 5 minutes, and you know.
Don't worry about that. That's
Yeah, I
another
guess,
thing.
but a lot of people cut
For
down.
new people, for new YouTubers, do not fucking worry about your analytics yet. You don't have enough followers to be concerned with your analytics, dude. Now,
Yeah.
if you go on there and see that they are all negative responses, then you might have to change some shit. But honestly, you're not going to keep up with the Joneses. Stop trying to look like the big channels or act like the big channels. Do a good product. It's like I say 100 times, protect your content.
When
Right.
when I'm messing with that Dwarven Forge, it's hard to keep a short video anyway.
Sure.
And I
Because there's
look
too
at it
much for you
I
to
look
go
at it
over.
going, man, I have to get all this out. I have
Check
to
this
say
out.
it, but people might not want to tune in that long.
No,
but
listen.
I can't help it.
When I started doing my videos, right? I started off with little over 10-minute videos. I wasn't watching the time. I was just talking until I was done. My buddies were the only ones watching my videos, right? One of my buddies was like, dude, it's way too long. It's just way too long. You got to cut it down, cut it down, cut it down. This is the same motherfucker that
That
watches a
watches
45-minute video about fucking this or that, right? And he's okay watching a 45-minute video about some other bullshit. But when it's mine, he's like, oh, no, you got to get it down to 5 minutes. What you're saying is you don't like the content.
Yeah.
You don't want to spend the time listening to the content.
Oh, well, it's not
That's
that.
different.
It's like me in
No,
history class. I can listen to the Romans and the Egyptians all fucking day.
Of course, because you
All
like the
day.
Romans and the Egyptians.
Yeah.
But when you get into the fucking the Bulgarians, you don't want to
Yeah,
hear it.
I'm not
They're
interested.
still just as rich. You just don't want to hear it. And I get it. I get it, right? My nephew, he was even like, well, I'm not really into your stuff. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Then don't click on the video. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? But in all honesty, I'm not going to cut myself short for the sake of your impatience when this motherfucker doesn't even watch my videos anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't watch. You know what I mean? I'm not making my videos for him. I'm making my videos for me and anybody who's willing to listen to me chat for fucking 10 minutes or 15 or 25 if that's what it takes to get that video out.
Yeah, I think that's another thing too. Is just sell you, your personality.
That's it.
yeah,
It's
sell
your brand. And
Sell
if
you.
you're showing me an unboxing and all I see is the lid of the box, that's not an unboxing, my dude. That's garbage. You know what I'm saying? Take the time. Don't be in such a hurry to get finished. Take some time. If you have to write a longer script, write a longer script. If you have to make some shit up on the fly, make some shit up on the fly, as long as it's not a lie. That's all
Yeah.
I'm saying. That's it. That's my rant.
Qui-Gon Cujo.
And the only reason I'm saying it is because those people who are in our Discord who are making videos, I want you to succeed. That's the bottom line. Like, I truly, in my heart, I want you to succeed. Even if, I've said this before, even if I do not like your content, you are part of the family and I want you to succeed.
Can we have a family hug?
Yes.
He can't want he thought.
I seen nipple. I think.
Just remember, Zero loves you. All of you. Even the guys that piss me off.
Y'all don't know who this is, huh?
Ooh,
There it goes.
it's a blank screen.
God, come on. There you go. Him. Y'all know who that is?
That's a Sith Lord.
That's Vendican from the video games.
Oh, well, I didn't
Yeah,
know.
he's a Sith Lord. He's an actual Sith though, one of those aliens, you know, the red.
You know who this guy is?
I never seen that unboxing.
This
I've
is
never
Foxy.
seen that
He
Fox.
didn't take it out. He didn't take it completely.
I
out the
know. I
package.
swear. I'm like,
He didn't
He's
show me
he's
what's
showing me an
inside.
unboxing that I've never seen. I'm like, he's actually proving his point.
This is Foxy McGee. I'm gonna do a video with like hates. We're gonna turn this garbage into something cool.
I want to remake that, dude. I'm thinking.
Oh,
about
it was so
remaking
fucking
that
funny,
bitch.
dude.
I'm
That,
thinking
that
about
was
remaking
perfect. It was perfect.
I thought he's gonna put squirt mustard on it and all kinds
it.
of
I'm
stuff.
thinking about remaking it and doing a bunch of other stupid shit. Because it's like
Hey,
the
you're-
punchline. There's no punchline until way at the end where you're like, oh,
That's-
okay. he's
But that's
fucking with me.
perfect. That's what was so perfect about it. I swear to God, halfway through the video, it took me halfway through to figure out you were bullshitting. I was like, when he started
telling you, I was
arranging the
thinking-
cigarette butts, I was like, this motherfucker is fuck. He's pulling my leg.
Now, if he would have broke the cigarette butts just to get the tobacco out, and it was trying to make some grass with it, I'd be like, okay, wait a minute, is he for real with that? But the
I was
cigarette
thinking
butt's
about-
sticking up. I'm like,
I
what
was
the
thinking
hell
about
is this?
taking that
Tree
bitch
trunks?
outside
What
when I
is he
said I'm
doing
gonna
here?
give it a wash and just putting that bitch on the floor and hitting it with a fucking water hose at full strength.
Stu says he's still here with us. He says he's building models and up to his elbows in glue.
Yeah.
I actually got all my the trash build. I actually got a guy. He's got a complete that's what he watches on YouTube apparently, and he's got a playlist where he puts all his favorite trash builds on there, and he put mine in it. And he commented, and he was like, "Man, I love this." You know.
Oh, it's perfect. I love it. I thought it was spot on, man. It was spot on. I think it's one of those things that people get away with, with clickbaiting. I'll show you how to make magic in 5 minutes, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, cool, click. Oh, this is garbage.
And the irony is that mine at the end, that's a trash nativity scene that I took and I modified and sitting on foam.
I remember.
It's more trash.
I remember the video that you did.
They're
that
actually
with.
they're actually scrap pieces of foam I used to make it. So the irony is that thing is actually made out of fucking trash.
Yeah.
It's scrap foam, the old nativity. Yeah. And, I
So-
mean, God, even the air dry clay I use is the cheapest you can get. Cheap ass air dry clay.
I've not used air dry clay. I'm thinking about trying it, just for some scenery.
I think the only way I get away with it, and then sometimes it depends. Because you can't go too thin with it. But I Mod Podge it before it dries, and then I just noticed it doesn't shrink as much. It doesn't crack. I can't go very thin, but yeah.
So, are you two available on Friday night or no?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, we're actually in the middle of conferencing about how we're gonna get back to the hall and how we're gonna open up again. I'm not. I wish, but I can't.
I am working Friday night.
Damn it. All right. I mean, I could do it next Friday.
You know what you do, Zero? You're one of those Gun Valley dudes on there.
Oh, Gumpa Valley.
Uh-huh.
I could do that. I mean, I wanted this one to be more D&D orientated, just to kind of get back onto the swing of things, which I could have them on. I mean, I don't know which one is. I'm not sure. I know some of them are into it, but I don't know how many or which ones. You know what I'm saying? Not yet. I don't know them that well yet.
Yeah, but
I'm
you're not
hoping
planning
to.
on going straight D&D, huh?
I was gonna do it for this show because it was, Crit said I could use the D&D After Dark and all that shit, and I got the thumbnail and everything, so I was gonna use that for it, just to kind of get it back going, and then go maybe the following week do the hobby show, where I just talk about different hobbies and stuff like that.
You could do that.
This way it's not. This way it's not.
Because I can't. I'd love to.
I just don't want the pressure of every week doing the same exact show with the same people and the same content every
So
week.
we
Yeah.
start talking conspiracies from now on. love
Oh, I
conspiracies.
spoke to my buddy. I spoke to my
love
buddy,
them,
Doge. I spoke to him,
Uh-huh.
and my old role playing group, and I talked to them about coming on the show to get all those player perspectives. You know, maybe we can retouch on some of the subjects we talked about prior on prior shows, but talk to the with a group of players.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they're all for it, so I just got to let them know when.
All right.
So we got that, and there you go.
Thank you.
See, I'm doing stuff.
Stay busy.
Dudes in there, and then we could absorb. We could absorb them. That's what we ought to do.
Well, the Gundam guys.
Yeah.
No, those guys are cool, man. I like those guys. They're
No, you can tell.
They're pretty cool, man. They're hooking me up.
I was there. Me and Cujo were there.
Mm-hmm.
That's so
You can
cool.
I'm telling you, even though I watch you, I listen to the stream, I try to participate, I'm still not into it.
And that's
What we done?
And I probably won't.
And
But
you know what,
I
dude?
still like.
I
it's
never liked.
interesting. And
I
I like
never
liked the
like hearing it.
cartoons.
I appreciate that about you, dude. I really do. I really appreciate it about you because it's hitting that point that I was talking about earlier. I may not like your shit, but I'm gonna support you. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate that, dude. I really
No,
do.
well, I appreciate. I mean, I don't want to say appreciate, but I see you guys and how much you're into it,
Yeah,
and I know you're into everything, and I'm into a lot too. But
yeah.
I just don't
You don't
have
want
that
one, is the
fascination
thing,
with Gunpla. I don't
You don't want
understand
one.
it. I don't want one.
Right.
I think it's really cool. I'm a modeler. I probably would love to build one.
Mhm.
I don't want it.
Right.
You know, I mean,
That's
I
my
don't-
thing too. They look cool, but
they
I'm
look
not-
cool. I think it's awesome. I like how they articulate. I like how you can pose them. And
Mhm.
if I was into it, yeah, I'd probably have a full wall like I've seen, people having glass cases and stuff. That would be right up my alley. I've got a bunch of stuff sitting on my shelves and that maybe you wouldn't be into.
Probably I would.
But and the passion's really cool, and it's amazing to look
I
at
always
a
tell
perspective
people-
of another part of the hobby.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? It's like that with any of my hobbies. I always tell people, with the exception of 40K, because it's a really expensive hobby. I wouldn't say, hey, go get a model and just paint it. No, it gets pricey. Let's be real. But when it comes to that type of
I
stuff,
was
it's
thinking
just
about
like,
that today, dude. How
you know-
the fuck you? I don't even know where the fuck you put all that shit you got, man.
bro, I told you, man. You saw my tour. You saw my tour. Right when you walk into my room, that whole shelf has got all the cases with
God.
miniatures in it, dude. It's just,
God.
and I got more minis than I got cases, bro. I got minis in boxes lying
I was
around
gonna
here
say
because I don't have any cases for them. You know, what I'm
cases
saying?
are expensive.
Yeah, dude. And I'm even buying these. I have a video on it. I got these cardboard ones from this German company that has the foam inside. They're really great, but they're $40 a pop. You
Yeah,
know
I've got
what
one
I'm
of the. I got one of the. Is it Ferrier?
Make that shit.
Feld
Feld
here.
here.
You make that
Yep.
shit.
That's
I've got
exactly the
one
one.
case, and it's got the fabric one though with the handle,
Yeah,
and that one's a little bit more expensive.
Yep.
But yeah, then that was so expensive. I mean, to go further, you have to get the box kind. Just the cardboard box with the
Yep.
foam,
that's what I got. I got
just
like
to make it
4 of
more
them.
affordable. But then still, that's $40 a pop. Then you start going, well, what can I get for $40? Well, I can get a couple more, another box of minis.
Yep.
And it's like, oh, but I'm just gonna buy a box for my minis I already have.
Yeah, for sure. And that's the thing. Like like when it comes to Gundams, the nice thing about Gundams, the one thing I like. I mean, obviously I like them. I'm into them. I've been into them since high school. But the one thing I like about them is it's one and done. If you really want to just experience it, right? Because you're a model builder, whatever you want to paint your own custom, whatever. One and done. You could spend $15 and you're done. That's it. Because if you're a modeler already, you've already got X-Acto, you've got files, you've got paint, you've got all the other shit you need. You just need the kit. Those kits can the gambit of $15 all the way to $300. You don't need to get a $300 kit. That's crazy. That would be ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? That's like not knowing how to swim and jumping in the deep end, right? What you do is get yourself a little $10 kit or a little $15 kit from Amazon or some shit. Put it together, see, and if it's something you're into. If it's not, you only wasted $10.
Yeah.
Right? Like you're not throwing $300 out and saying, "Oh my God, this is terrible," and now I wasted $300. You know what I'm saying? You're just spending $10. I mean, let's be real. That's 2 cups of coffee. Wow. You know what I mean? I'm not saying you should do this. I'm saying if anybody has an interest in it, the great thing about it is that it's affordable. They're just model kits. They're like model cars, same shit. So I mean that's my take on it. But and I personally enjoy it because I like the animes and stuff like that.
And that's the thing is I never watched animes, and I swear one of the pictures somebody posted on in our group, it looked like Soundwave from Transformers or Starscream a little bit. I mean, that's what I grew up on, Transformers and GoBots and all that stuff and Voltron. So when I see those robots, I don't even know what Gunpla is. I don't know what Gundam is. The cartoons, the series, I can't recognize the robots when I see them.
Right.
I correlate it to what I know, and I go, "Oh, that looks like this Transformer," and so there's no attachment there.
Dude, Gundam started the first one came out in 1979. It literally was like that's how old the show is. You know what I'm saying? And it's evolved obviously, and it's gotten better, and the animation's gotten better, and the kits have gotten better, and all that cool stuff. It is what it is. But I mean, like I said, it's like you said, you correlate it to something else that you are more familiar with, and that's understandable. It's definitely understandable because there's like, and I get it. Like if I put 6 different robots in a line, you're not gonna be able to pick those out. You're not gonna say that's from this, that's from that, because you don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's not something you're into or whatever. But if I, I could put 3 D&D, 10 D&D monsters out there, you know exactly what they are, because that's that's your go-to. You know what I'm saying? So it's understandable.
I can even tell you if it was an older sculpt that was from a different edition.
Exactly. Like Critical he just ordered one. He just ordered a Gundam.
Really?
Yeah, he just ordered one the other day. He was watching the show, he was talking, and he was asking questions about like what would be a good kit to start with. And it's hard. I mean, there are some that are really great to start with because they're very beginner friendly, and I know what shows he watched from Gundam, and I know which one. So I found one for him, and it was like maybe $20 at the top, like shipped, and he ordered it, and I was surprised. And not that I'm over ecstatic about it, but I was like, okay, I didn't think you would do, you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't know that was you were even interested in that. And I told him, I was like, you don't have to ask any strangers anything. I'm here. Ask me. I'll help you. I'll help you through the whole process.
Yeah.
Because I mean that's what I'm here for, dude. Like you got a question, I'll ask. As long as, and I've said this before, we talked about this on the show before. As long as you're asking me a legitimate question that you actually want an answer for or my opinion from, I'll help you. But if you're just asking to waste breath and be like, all right, let me just let this motherfucker talk, I don't need to.
I asked you because I want inspiration.
That's fine,
you know what I mean?
Bro. I'm just saying, like you could do, there's so much you could do with these things. And like I said, if you've never tried it and you even have an inkling of interest, just get one. What's it gonna hurt?
No, I know.
Well, the ones I was looking at were a couple $100. So.
Well, see, that's because it's you, fucking Cujo.
I mean, I look at it, I'm like, that's a badass.
What's the biggest, best, most overboard one that I can get?
I don't want the cheap one. I don't want the cheap one.
He's like, $600? Yeah, I got this. He's like, no, motherfucker. Get yourself one of these little mission kits.
Hey, get this little
$15, and then and you're done.
The Water Boy one.
Yeah, I get the Water Boy one.
Got no gun.
It's got barely any guns on it,
There's even cheaper kits, dude. Trust me, that they move. They don't have any articulation. They just stand there. Look, this little guy came with a $10 magazine.
Man, I tried to print something like that.
And he just stands. He just stands there. He don't do shit. He's just there. Nothing.
Don't ever try to print a Gundam, dude. At least not. I mean, maybe in pieces. Like
that's what you do. You print it in pieces, yeah.
But no, but I've seen the full model.
Yeah. I'm just saying, look, it's another avenue to be creative. That's all.
Hey, I'm already looking at getting into 40K again, so I'm not thinking about no Gunpla.
Don't listen to me. Don't be pulling my fucking leg.
No, I'm telling you, when 9th edition comes out and they have those Necrons and the Space Marines in that box. I mean, Necrons was my other army I loved. Listen, I loved playing the Necrons and the Tau.
If that's the case, Cujo, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm going to be getting a box set and I'm gonna be selling the Necrons.
I'll get them.
You better watch out. See what you're doing, bro.
So 40K helmets, Cujo.
Yeah, I seen them. I like them. To be honest with you, though, I'd like to see something like that. Nobody would. I mean, a Space Marine. Everybody's gonna have a Space Marine. If you're gonna get a 40K helmet,
gotta get something nobody's got.
That's the iconic. I need to have something totally different.
Like a Tau helmet or a Imperial Guard or a Necron helmet.
Where's he at?
Necron helmet would be sweet.
See, that's the
So
one
what
I
is
want
this
right
thing?
there. That's
is
a
this
chaplain's helmet.
Okay.
Chaplain is like
And
their
it's-
religious support, so it's like a priest inside, you know. But he keeps everybody like, he keeps the guys like in check, and if they start to panic or lose their nerve, he kills people to like, hey, get your shit together, get it together. He's like their holy guy, you know.
Stu says 40K. Yeah, I want a dollar bill on it.
Yeah, buddy. Man, he ain't lying, man. And they're doing 9th edition, and they're just like, oh yeah, we're gonna raise up prices of other shit too. By the way, enjoy.
I'm good.
God damn it.
I'm good. I'm gonna get me another 3D printer. That's it.
Yeah, one
I've
of
been
my buddies.
I've been playing Astroneer, dude.
What's that?
Man,
If you don't buy a 3D printer, you can just buy yourself a
Small
Battlefield box set
I'm good.
and get yourself,
Good.
get yourself one army for
I'd rather 3D print.
$300.
I'd rather 3D print.
Damn it!
This is Astroneer here. Quinn said he played this actually. This game's freaking cool, dude. So it's like they throw you on a planet with nothing basically, except for that suit, and then you just start gathering shit and building shit and then going.
If I
other
wanted
Still.
to do work, I would do work in real life.
So this
It's
is gathering. This is farming. You don't like farming?
No.
I love farming, dude.
Is it a video game?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's a video game about shit you could do in for real world.
No, you can't go to different
Oh.
planets. You can't in real world.
Not
You
yet.
can't go. Not yet. Talk
SpaceX,
to,
They're
talk to
working
Elon
on that
Musk.
with SpaceX, but yeah,
SpaceX,
no.
bro. It's getting there. We're getting
They're
there.
working on it, but
Yeah.
yeah, not yet.
That was a good launch the other day.
It was. I was telling my wife, she was like,
So did you see how
launch is
cool
happening. She's like, so? I was
The
like,
suits were so cool. The dashboard inside the ship was cool. Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
like, what do you
dude.
mean? So it's monumental. This is history.
I just
right
love
here.
I love how they can bring the rockets back down remotely and land them.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
I bought
And
this
then-
too.
What's that?
Minecraft Dungeons.
Yeah, we got it too on PlayStation 4.
Yeah,
You-
we just
you
got
don't
it
like
too.
Huh? It sucks.
I haven't even played it yet.
It
My
sucks.
boys, I got it from my
It's
boys.
all right. It's real
sucks.
basic. It's
Exactly.
Diablo basic.
Exactly. It's Diablo. It's Fisher Price Diablo.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's why I bought it because I was like, well, because I like Diablo, and maybe the kids will play, but I think it's just so basic that it's boring for them as well. I think
And
that's
my
the
son
sad
and I
part
have been
about it.
playing it. I've died a couple times already though.
Well, did you see that Hero Quest board that
Which
I
one?
posted?
Yeah.
The 3D printed.
Mm-mm.
There's a Hero Quest board and a Space Hulk board I printed. I put on.
Oh yeah. I saw the picture. I saw what you. Yeah. The
God.
links that you had. Yeah. I saw.
I mean, because I grew up on that. That's what started me with my family is playing
Fucking,
Hero Quest.
Retro found a Hero Quest.
But-
I believe it was Hero Quest at a thrift
And
store.
There's
I
there's
still have a lot
store-
of the miniatures, and I still use a lot of the miniatures and stuff.
There's
For some reason, I
there's
sold the main set.
My store, my local gaming shop has Hero Quest, but they want like 145 for it. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, man. It's like Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
But they said
it's
it
not.
has everything in it, so
It sucks that I did. I think I gave it to my daughter, and maybe she got rid of it. I don't know, but it was just kind of cool seeing that in the 3D form. I never did that before, but that Space Hulk was insane. I never played Space Hulk, but it looked fun as hell in that 3D format.
I'm picking my banner up. Y'all got us overtime like it's Cujo's fault.
You guys can get out of here if you have to.
Hour overtime.
You can just edit me out.
I don't got nothing else going on. So
Why would I edit Cujo out? Everybody loves Cujo.
Oh God, here we go. So you're gonna you're just gonna get the starter box set.
yeah, I'm gonna get that because I want those Marines because they're brand new. Like
What did they
new.
change with them? Because
Well, those guys are all assault Marines, Primaris guys. They
that's
didn't
what I
have
looked.
those
It looked
before.
like they had swords. Yeah.
Yeah, they all assault Marines, and they got the bikes in there. So stuff. It's completely new Primaris units that I don't have. So I'm like, well, I'm doing an Imperial Fist army. Might as well just wrap that up with those that last little bit of guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, and my other buddy Rob's gonna get one too because he wants the Marines too. So he's gonna sell his half of the Necrons as well. So I'll let you know. But yeah, you know what? I'm gonna get out of here.
I don't know why we just don't play.
Say what? What do you say?
Hey, yeah. What do you say?
Sound like he froze up.
You can't go out like that.
No, he totally froze.
Oh, that's how we're gonna end it.
It's over. All right.
Oh,
So
now
I'm
he's
gonna-
gone.
I'm gonna get
Oh, he's
going.
back.
That wasn't me.
Really?
That wasn't me.
What is
I
this?
don't know if it's my
You don't drink
if my
booze.
butt got in the way or what. I don't know what happened there.
All right, I gotta go.
All right.
I'm out. All right.
Happy
Thank you,
anniversary.
guys. Nice stream. Nice having you on, Cujo.
For sure. For sure. It was a good time. I'm really glad we talked to John, dude. That guy's phenomenal.
He's a Sith.
Yeah. All right, man. I'll talk to you guys later.
Later.
Later on.
Later, everyone. Thanks for watching.
See you guys later.